Smooth. Thank you so much, man.
For sure.
I appreciate you coming to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Not long ago, I saw you reacted to one of my stories. I'm like, oh shit, Smooth, OG, dude. And then that's where I found your socials, right, and I just was keeping up on you, and so crazy. 2003, probably about 2003, you gave me my first taper.
Right on.
Ever, dude.
Right on.
Before that, you know who it was?
Who was that?
Christina. $5 joint.
No way. Dang, that's right. Everybody's been through that.
Remember the $5 joints?
Of course,
dude?
Of course.
Yeah. That's where I was getting cut at. And then that was like a, I don't know, maybe it was because it was new to me, like that style of haircut.
For sure.
Was that like a new style of haircut?
It was new. I feel like it was bigger when I was working, when I first came back to Oxnard. I was working at Ray's Barbershop in Oxnard.
Got you. Okay.
So it was a black barbershop, and I come walking in, and I'm the only other in the shop.
Yeah.
They accepted me. Everything was good. And I learned all the styles, when I was in Long Beach, when I was in Oxnard and everything. So moving down, down the road to Ventura Road, actually way down towards the base, it just hit. The haircuts, everything hit. A lot of people followed me, and I picked up a whole new community of people on that side of town. So it was like something new to the neighborhood, pretty much.
So you started off at Ray's. That's Wooly and...
No, this is OG Ray's.
Oh, okay.
This is in the north side by Popeye's Chicken.
Oh, got you.
On Azalea and Ventura Road.
Got you.
So
I think I know where you're talking about.
Gonzales and Ventura
Road.
Yes.
So. Okay. Got you. So what even motivated you to get into cutting hair?
So what motivated me? So I've been cutting hair since like high school, hooking up the friends, trading for Taco de Mexico burrito, after high school. Just doing that, trading for lunches, and people were like, you're okay at cutting hair. Okay, whatever. Well, I'm just trading for lunches or for fun, I get out of high school, and I moved in with my brother at like 18 years old, and living with him, I was cutting his hair every week. He's like, hey, give me a haircut every week. Cool. One day he says, you ought to start charging for these haircuts. And I go, you think so, huh? He goes, yeah. I go, well, I'm gonna start charging you $5. He goes, that's cool, I'll pay you $5. I said, damn, all right, that's what's up. So he says, I'm gonna raise your rent $5 a week though. So he got me, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
So it kind of pushed me in the direction like, yeah, maybe I could charge, And then he's like, why don't you become a barber? Nah, man, I'm good. I'm gonna do something else. I want to do something else. He hit up my dad. What do you think? Should I become a barber? He's like, man, that's a great career. Do it. Went down to Long Beach and checked it out. Found a barber school, and next thing you know, I had an apartment down there and living down there.
That's a pretty popular school out there, right, in Long Beach?
Yes, mine actually closed though, years after I graduated, but yeah, it was very popular at the time.
So where were you going to school at? Where did you graduate from?
In high school?
Yeah,
Santa Clara.
Yeah. Okay. So are you born and raised?
Born and raised in Oxnard. Yep. Graduated in 96.
96.
Long time ago.
I graduated in 03.
Okay.
It's still I went to Wainimi.
Okay.
But yeah, that was like my first introduction into like something besides a 1 and a 5.
Yeah,
with
gotcha.
a sort of blend.
Yeah, like the shoestring fade, Like the hard line is bald on the side and a 2 on the top.
Yeah. I remember we went to the house party after that. I felt so fresh. Dude.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I even rocked it. Even in, right before barber school, I had a razor on the side and like a 2 on the top. And I thought I was doing it,
So you're cutting hair, and you noticed that you had a talent for it. What made you even start cutting to begin with?
I don't know. I don't even know why I started. Just one day, maybe in the PE room, we're saying, "Hey, let's give haircuts." I don't know. It was weird how it started.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So you go to Long Beach, and what was your experience like there?
Man, Long Beach, that was something different, dude. At 18 years old, 19 years old, moving from Oxnard to Long Beach, like by myself.
Wow,
it was a big jump
for sure.
So just seeing the way that the streets were, totally different than Oxnard. way wilder, way wilder, you know. And the stuff that I had seen, it's just like over the top, you know. Come back to Oxnard, and I was just like, damn, like it was real out there.
Yeah.
You know, I would come home like on weekends, every other weekend, try to come make some money and go back, live down there. But yeah, man, it was an experience. You know, met a lot of different people down there. You know.
Do you think that's because you grew up in Oxnard and you already know how to maneuver?
I believe so. I learned a lot at a young age. You know, just how to conduct yourself, you know, with other people. You know what I mean? Like, you could blend in real easy, or you could stand out real far.
For sure.
So I blended in really well, and I mean, I held myself high. You know what I mean? Like, didn't take nothing from anybody, but you know, it was cool. It was a great experience though. Like, seeing it and going back down there now and seeing how the neighborhood has changed. The apartment that I was in, the Casa Bonita, it changed. They painted it. They got palm trees in the front now. When I was there, it looked just like run down. It was like 5 stories high with cockroaches. I mean, the helicopter every night was shining its light down, and it's always like coming through my window. I don't know if that's how everybody felt, but it seemed like every single night it's like, man, get out of here, you know? Like,
yeah. Made you appreciate home?
Absolutely, man. You know, you miss home, and you're like, damn, dude, I just got, 6 more months, I gotta get out of here. So.
Yeah. So then after that, what was your next move?
Next move was come back to Oxnard and try to get into a shop, get my license and get into a shop. And I was working at a shop down there though while I was going to school. Okay. So back then haircuts were $6 and I got 3 and the owner got 3. That's a 50-50 cut.
Gotcha.
So I'd cut after school and do 5 haircuts and I'd make $15. It was pretty wild, man. Yeah. That's nothing,
How was $15 back then though? Was that
man, it still didn't get you much.
Really?
I mean, you could go get lunch for like $5, $6. But,
yeah.
Gas was still $2 a gallon.
At any point where you're just like, man, I don't know if this is really
every
worth
weekend, every weekend, I'd
really?
come back. So I was like 18, 19, and I was going to the Q Club. I was, just able to get in. Meet up with my buddies over there, and I'd sit in the back and I'd say, man, this better be worth it. This better be worth it because this is just too much.
Yeah. Did you know anybody that pursued any sort of career like that
in barbering? No,
like in your life.
No family members or barbers, nothing. I went to the old shop, Scissors and Comb. I got a haircut there most of the time when I would get a haircut, and I asked him where he went to school, and he said he went to school in Long Beach. So he kind of put me up on Long Beach, like that's the direction to go. Gotcha. But this is in 97 when the internet's barely taken off. So you would try to Google barber school. Nothing would come up. Yeah. There was no information out there on the internet,
Damn, 97 is a weird time, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, that's when all Y2K stuff was going on.
Yeah. So the whole Y2K thing was big, man.
People didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, and nothing happened. All the hype for nothing. That was something else.
Man, yeah. So you went out there, and how was it when you finished? Did you feel accomplished?
I did. And then once I finished school, I still had to take my state test.
Okay.
So back then, compared to now, it's totally different. I had to bring a live model in with me. So I had my uncle come. So I picked him up early. We drove out early in the morning. You have to do a haircut on him. You have to do a razor shave on him. You have to do like a simulated relaxer or perm. You got to put perm rods. You got to blow dry the hair. You got to do all kinds of stuff. And then when you're done with that, you take a break. You come back and you take the written test. And the written test had maybe 150 questions.
Oh wow!
So that was a lot. And it was funny when I took the test. I was so nervous, man. I was so nervous. And we parked. I remember we parked. We walked into the lobby, and I said, "I'm here for the barber exam." They said, okay, take the elevator up to the 5th floor, we'll say. Walk up to the elevator, and there's this little black lady standing next to me. And I'm wearing a dress shirt and a tie and everything, I'm trying to look all sharp. And I see the lady. I says, hey, good morning. She looks at me and says, good morning. She says, what are you here for? I go, I'm here for my barber exam. She's like, really? She goes, how do you feel? I go, super nervous, but I think I'm going to be okay. She goes, that's right, stay confident. Okay, cool. Go up in the elevator, boom, boom, boom. We get out. I go sit down in the lobby up there waiting. There was 4 of us testing that day. Us 4 walk in, and there's a guy in there that's running the test, and a lady. I just see a guy and a lady. So the guy was a young guy, and the lady was a little bit older. So I walk by and I get my station. I look, who is it? It's the little black lady from the elevator.
No way.
I said, oh my God, she knows I'm nervous now,
Yeah.
But I was super polite and respectful to her,
sure.
And we take the test. I cut my uncle's hair. I do the shave. On the shave, boom, I slice his chin.
Oh.
Okay. Oh God. I thought that was it. Blood going everywhere. I don't know what to do. I'm just trying to hold it to stop it. It was just pure panic. I get the blood to stop. She comes over. She looks over. I continue doing the shave. I do the haircut. Do everything I got to do on him. We go to break. I tell my uncle, hey, dude, let's get out of here. Let's just leave. I don't even want to go back and take the rest. I know I already failed, He says, man, just hang out. Just wait. Let's see what happens. At least see what the rest of the test is before you quit. I said, all right. So we go back. I do the written test. Fly through the written because I knew all the answers. I was 100% on that. Then you go back to the lobby and you wait. And they call your name. If they call your name first, you probably got your license. If they call you last, you didn't get your license. So there's only 4 of us. First name they call is my name. And I was like, what? So I jump up and they said, you passed. Wow. And I said, fire. I'm so pumped right now. Got my license. And we're walking back and we got to wait for everybody to get done. All 3 of the other people failed. Unbelievable.
Wow.
And I swear it's just because I was nice to the lady. That's the only reason I passed.
For sure.
I feel like I should have failed, but.
Well, when did you realize that there was value in being respectful and nice to strangers?
I think that's the way I was raised. I think absolutely the way I was raised. You hold doors for people. You greet people. Even the homeless people.
Yeah.
You see a homeless person at Starbucks, tell them good morning.
Sure.
It doesn't cost you nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all they got to hear.
Yeah. Sometimes all it takes is just a little recognition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It definitely took me a lot later in life.
Okay.
To realize that. To realize the impact that I could have on somebody's day, whether it being negative or positive.
Absolutely.
And just knowing how it feels to me when people treat me bad for no reason. I don't want to do that to somebody.
Yeah, definitely.
That I don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
And sometimes it helps out.
Yeah.
Like you say.
Yeah.
Imagine if you went in there and you were rude to that lady. Nah, you're done.
Yeah.
Don't even come back to do the written.
No, just go.
You're done. But yeah, I think that's such a big part of somebody's character.
Absolutely.
I always say that even because I'm in cars, so in the car community, so we're always dealing with police. And every time that I'll hear somebody's interaction or something like that, they're always just yelling at the cops or why is this or that.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, this is just a dude doing his job, dude.
Yeah.
And that what you're doing is illegal.
Yeah.
So you got caught. It's on you, bro. Yeah. I got pulled over not long ago, and I had all my windows tinted and my windshield tinted.
Okay.
Roll down all the windows, put my hands up, be respectful. Yep. Cop comes through, he chills out a little bit, gave me a ticket for my windshield, but that was it. And he could have given me it for a lot more,
Yeah,
and then
sure.
after that we start talking. He tells me what kind of car he has, and I'm like getting in my spiel. I'm like, hey, check us out, man, Downstar. You know?
For sure.
It's just I could have made that interaction go so bad. For what?
Yeah.
There's nothing that I can say that's gonna make his or my authority over him.
No. You're gonna lose for sure.
For sure. Yeah. And then what is the reason for it? It's ego and pride.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes that's gotta take a seat back. And all of these life lessons took a long time to learn. I wish I knew him at that age.
Yeah.
Man.
But just on the flip side, just the other night, I got in a car accident.
Oh, right? No way.
So crazy. This car cut in front of me. I slammed the brakes. I swerved. They stopped, and then they punched it again and stopped. It was almost deliberate. So I swerved and took the van right into him. Boom. Right? Bumper, grill, headlights, everything flies off of the car. I see plastic in the air. Dude takes off. Dude backs up, takes off. I chased him. Went right around, followed him around the neighborhood. Next thing you know, I catch him running. He hits the fence. I'm not jumping no fence, you know. But I found the car, got the car. I do the right thing. I call the cops, you know. 30 minutes later, cops still not there. So a car rolls up and they're going to jump in the car. So I jump out the van. And the funny thing was, I jump out the van. I look, not a scratch on the van. But this car's totaled, you know. How did that happen? I don't know. It even made me think, man, did this really happen? Like, that's how little damage I saw, you know.
Oh, wow.
So call the cops. This car pulls up. They leave, okay. I call the cops again because when I see them pull up, I jump out and I'm going to go confront them, but they hop in the car and they take off again. So again, I call the cops and I says, hey guys, I said, I've been waiting 30 minutes. Nobody showed up. This car pulled back up. I don't know if they're trying to take the car or whatnot. You guys need to hurry up and get out here. Otherwise the next call is going to be a way different call than a hit and run. You know what I mean? So we need to get on this. We'll have somebody out there as soon as we can. So I go back, I sit in the van, that car pulls up right behind me and 2 people hop out. I said, damn. All right. I look in the mirror, I see 2 people. Now what do I do? Do I start the van and take off, or do I just swing the door open like a cowboy? You know?
Yeah.
At this point, I got to swing it open like a cowboy. So I say, hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up? The guy, you know, he's being kind of like chill. He's like, hey, man. He goes, were you involved in that accident? I go, yeah. I go, was that you driving? He goes, no, that was my brother-in-law. You know, long story short. He tells me, hey, man, I don't want to go through cops. You know, my brother-in-law, fresh out of prison. We're trying to keep him on the straight and narrow. Can you do me a favor and call the cops off? We'll take care of this. And call my wife. What do you think? You know what? New year, dude says he's out of prison. He doesn't need to go back for this nonsense. Give the guy a break. Give him a chance, you know. So as I hop out the van to tell the guy, hey, man, I'll call the cops off. You know, like, let's just take care of it. We're cool. You know, I obviously don't have no damage, but I want my mechanic to look at it and make sure there's nothing under the hood messed up, you know. He says, cool, we could do that. So the cops pull up. So I walk across the street, and, you know, when you walk up to the cops, I always got my hands up, like, hey, good evening, you guys. Thanks for coming out. So as I'm walking up, like, hey, good evening, guys, like that. The lady cop swings the door open, and she yells, get away from the vehicle now. Step back from the vehicle now. And that went, we're at level 10 real quick. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, like, this went from a hit and run to I'm going to be on the ground. I might be getting tased. I'm doing nothing. I called you guys.
Yeah.
So I told the lady, look, lady, I'm the victim here. I got hit. You know, like, I called you guys. Why are you yelling at me? And again, she goes into step back, step back, step back. Her partner hops out. And I says, hey, man, I don't know what's going on here, but this lady's all worked up, you know. He goes, hey, are you okay? I go, I'm perfectly fine. And I go, I'm going to take care of everything with this guy. You know, I appreciate you guys coming out. Hope you guys have a good night. Please be safe. And the guy says, okay, cool, no problem. Have a good night. Jumps in the car and they take off. Why does she have to treat me like that?
Yeah.
You know, so I have a lot of respect for cops. You know, like, that's a tough job. You know, no, I wouldn't want to do it. But if they come and they treat me with respect, I'll treat them with respect.
For sure.
You know, but the way she took it to the level 10, man, that was something else. Like,
yeah. No, I feel you on that. And that's the thing. I think it's more than the profession. It's humanity. You know, no matter what you put somebody in position, like we just went to Mountain High.
Okay.
We just went snowboarding.
Nice.
Right? And I'm just like, why the fuck is everybody so rude here?
Okay.
Why are all the workers so rude? Why is everybody so rude? You know, we're here like trying to have a good time. Why are you guys like that? You know, go do this, do that. And, you know, you just give somebody just a little power, bro.
Yeah.
And then maybe they've never felt that sort of authority over anybody, or maybe somebody does that to them. Yeah. And then they do it to others. You know, I always try to just like evaluate things like, yo, why is this person like this? Because I know it's not me.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm thinking like, okay, what's you have to work, or you have to live maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes away from the mountain to make it make sense. You know? And when you're driving up to the mountain, you see these places and you're like, damn, I wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to live here.
For sure.
You know, and then it just makes so much sense to me, like the people that live, I forget what the city is, like maybe Lancaster or something. I don't know what it is, off of Parablossom. Those people, they probably work right there at the mountain. You know, and just looking at that and just evaluating it all and just trying to make sense of it.
Being
I'm like,
raised in that.
for sure,
Yeah.
it makes so much sense.
Yeah. You're angry already.
For sure. If this is what you were blessed with in life, if your whole generation is from a 5-mile radius from that town or what have you, like you're feeling a different life experience than I am.
Yeah.
So I can't hold you to the standards of my life because, man, you don't the life you live is so different.
Yeah, your struggle is about 15 times worse than mine.
Oh my God, yeah, you have no idea. There's no idea of even like making it out of that.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to barbering and with that, like making it out. Like, when did you start to realize that you had something going for you?
As far as barbering, or like
yes.
once I started cutting hair at the shop at Ray's, then thinking I'm going to venture out.
Yeah.
I just started getting a nice clientele. And it just seemed like it was right. You know, I had talked to my dad, and I think it was at Ray's for like 2 years, and I was grinding, man. I worked 7 days a week.
Oh, wow.
I said I got to build my clientele. So nothing else to do. You know, might as well come in and grind. So just built it up as much as I could. And then a building came available, you know, and it was another barber that was there. He was trying to sell the place. He couldn't sell the shop. And then he basically said, okay, I'm moving everything out. And then the landlord called me and said, hey, he just moved out. Do you want a building? It's an empty building now. I said, damn, yeah, that's even better. I didn't want to buy a bunch of old stuff anyways, you know?
Yeah.
So it worked out, you know, and even then, it was so long ago before the internet, you couldn't just order barber chairs on Amazon. You know, you had to physically go to LA and find where they're selling barber chairs, you know, and stations, you know, stuff to build it. We got stuff from Home Depot for cabinets for stations. So we built it with that mentality. Even doing the floor, we did everything ourselves, you know. It was different, you know.
So what age were you at when you first got your own shop?
I want to say I was probably 21. God damn. 21 years old.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. That's very young to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. 21, 22, right around there.
So when you're working at Ray's, what kind of reception are you getting from the OGs at the shop?
They were cool. Like at first, they were kind of standoffish, you know. They were like, what's this dude doing here, you know? But then, I don't know, I feel like I gained a lot of respect from them. And I think being that I was coming from Long Beach, you know, a couple guys didn't even know what my nationality was. You know, my first name's Patrick, my last name's Thompson. You look at me, you wouldn't think of Patrick Thompson. Then I'm at a black barbershop, and people are thinking, oh, he's half black, half Mexican. You know? So, we'll accept him, you know. So, you know, one time I'm cutting hair, and it's coming up to New Year's Eve. And I'm asking the guy in the chair, what are you doing for New Year's? He goes, oh man, he goes, I'm just gonna hang around here local, you know, this and that. He's a probably like a 30-year-old black guy at the time. And he goes, what are you gonna do? And I go, oh man, I'm going out with some of my friends. We're gonna go to Fillmore and go hang out at some party in Fillmore. He's like, hey man, be careful. He goes, the essays don't like brothers out there. And I go, is that right? And I was like, oh, okay, you know, I'll be cool. And he goes, be careful, man. He goes, you gotta watch the essays. The essays don't like brothers. And I was like, bro, what are you talking about, man? What's going on here? And I go, I'm half Mexican, half white. He goes, bro, I thought you were black this whole time. Nah, man. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, you be cool out there, though. And I was like, it was funny, but I think they just thought I was half black, you know, because the last name Thompson, you know? Yeah. So that might have been part of it, too. I don't know. But I feel like they accepted me. Old Man Ray, you know, learned a lot from him. I learned a lot of business sense from him, the way he ran the shop, the way he carried himself, the way he expected the guys to work and expected the respect back from them. Yeah. You know.
So what actually made you decide to open your own shop though? Because I know you say you have a clientele, but I know barbers that they've had clientele forever, you know, and then they just I
think it was just the push to go, just to try it. You know, I was looking at what I was paying in booth rent to what I'd be paying for a shop, and it was pretty close. Yeah. And I'm thinking, man, like if I'm going to pay the rent here to this guy, I could pay the rent there and have my own thing. You know, even if I got to work a couple extra days to make up the difference, I could do it. You know.
Yeah, that's something that to me, it makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I always wonder, like, just is it hard for people to connect the dots with things like
I
that?
don't know. I feel like it is. Like, I think people are more scared to step out of their comfort zone, and that's everybody, and that's everybody for everything. I mean, I'm afraid of a million things to step out of, you know. But if you just have somebody to give you the push, to tell you that it's gonna be cool, like you're gonna be fine, like you can do it, you know, it's not that much more to do it. I think that's all you really need. And I think there's a lot of people out there that have the knowledge, the information that could push so many people in the right direction, but they just don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, they don't do it.
Yeah, especially, you know, if you didn't have anybody around you that did the career that you're doing, or maybe even had their own business, was an entrepreneur, or even had a career or anything like that. You know, most of the people when I was growing up, pretty much everybody, they just had regular 9-to-5 jobs. You know, so.
And I've had that my whole life growing up. I mean, I started working at, lemonade stands in the front yard. You know what I mean? Paper route. Me and my brother, we split our paper out in our neighborhood. We only had 3 streets, but you know, I was only allowed to drive our street. My mom would only let us that. He would do the other 2. You know, so I'd been working my whole life. I've been taught to, you know, work hard for what you want. You know, I wanted a pair of Reebok pumps. Remember Reebok pumps?
Yeah,
I don't even know what year those were. My dad said, "Okay, if you want those for school," he goes, at the time I think they were like $120, and he goes, "You're gonna work and you're gonna save up and you're gonna get those shoes. If that's the ones you want, you're gonna save up and get them." And I was working at the golf course, River Edge Golf Course, washing golf carts, picking up golf balls at like 11, 12, 13 years old. I was getting paychecks, man, like $3 an hour. You know, at that age, getting paychecks, that's unheard of now, looking back at it.
For sure.
And I saved up and I got those Reebok pumps, you know, the Twilight Zones. Is what they were. I look them up now on like StockX. I'm like, man, those are whack. Those are trash, you know. And I said, I'm gonna buy a pair just to hang them up on the wall like motivation. I was like, I wouldn't even buy those now, you know. It's so funny, but I had to have them. But my dad made me work for him, you know, and said you'll appreciate them more. So,
how much of that lesson was that it was a lesson that he was teaching you versus that maybe the funds weren't really there?
It could have been. It could have been. My dad is really hardworking. You know, my mom worked too. Both of them worked full time. I don't know any different if we were well off or we were poor. I just know we had a lot of fun. You know, the summer times was always fun, and that time was different growing up in the neighborhoods where you could go ride your bike and go out in the street and play. You know, and come home when the street lights come on. You know, and after. You know, one kid's dad would go out there and whistle. Everybody would just say, "Oh, it's time to go." Everybody go home. You know. So, yeah, it was cool, man. Different times though. That's the thing that I really appreciated.
Yeah. Definitely different times. You know, do you have children?
I do have 3.
What are the ages? 13,
10, and 5.
So wow.
I got 2 boys and a little girl.
Nice, man. Yeah. Do you find that you, being successful entrepreneur, it's difficult to teach your children these lessons?
Not at all. Not at all. My oldest son, he goes and he cuts my mom and dad's lawn every 2 weeks. And then now he's cutting the neighbor's lawn too. And he charges, you know, only $10, but he goes and he makes his money. He saves up his money and he says, "Hey, I want to go buy Pokemon cards. Let's go get Pokemon cards. You're buying them, you know? So you're working for him. You're buying them." And he's learning the concept of, I'm going to buy a box of Pokemon cards. There's 10 packs in it, but I'm going to give my little brother half of them. You know what I mean? So he's learning to share, work hard. He's sharing, and then little brother still goes. He goes and rakes leaves too, and he makes a couple bucks. You know. So they're all learning the concept of working for what you want, you know. And there's times where if they don't have the money, I'll help them out, of course, you know. But we're definitely trying to teach them to be to respect money and work hard for your money.
Yeah, you know? No, definitely, man. Because the reason I ask that is because I know a lot of entrepreneurs, they'll say, "Well, this is how I got here, so you have to go through those same struggles," you know, and sometimes that concept is just a little hard for me to gather, because it's like, well, my family when I was growing up didn't have the knowledge and luxury to be able to give me this sort of life, and if my son doesn't have to work a job to buy shoes, how much harm am I really doing to him versus if he did.
Yeah.
You know, the give and the return. Like you're going to be losing time from your day, which I don't know if I really want to expose them to that yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And saying it like that could really come off to being like a soft parenting, but kind of one of my justifications for it is that no matter what, life is going to be hard.
Yeah.
Life is going to be hard no matter what. And I feel like what got me to this point is working hard, but also working smart. So I like to pass on those life lessons that I've learned that made my life easier, and try to pass that on without being so strict as to, hey, it's Saturday morning, you got to get up at 6 a.m. You got to go do this and do that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, I just feel like there's such a hard balance.
Yeah.
Because there's one side where it's like, yeah, I want them to know that you need to work hard. But then the other side is like, I want them to enjoy their childhood.
Yeah.
Because like there's certain aspects of my childhood that I really didn't enjoy as much, or I grew up faster or what have you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agreed. So yeah, our big thing is I'm married. I've been married now. We're I think it's gonna be 9 years this year.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And we've been together probably 16, 17 years now.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's been a while.
It's a blessing.
Absolutely. And I have a stepson too. He's 26. He lives in Florida right now.
Oh, nice.
So four kids, wife. But our biggest thing, my wife homeschools the kids too. So she's been homeschooling before the pandemic. She started before. So this is like year 5. And that's a struggle, man. That's a struggle every day. She fights through it and she puts up with it, you know, and it's tough. I try to do it on Mondays with them because she goes, her one day off a week, she goes to work. That's what I always joke and say. She's a surgical tech, so she does that out in Thousand Oaks one day a week and then comes back and then runs the house, you know. We try teaching the kids how to work with your hands. I love teaching the kids how to work with your hands with saws and everything, you know, tools, learn how to use tools, learn how to use things, you know. We also want them to be very book smart, you know, teach them that, you know, you have to be able to do math, but I don't think trigonometry is necessary.
For sure.
I'd rather teach you how to build the chicken coop in the backyard. For sure. You know, let's do that. Let's learn angles and math like that.
Yeah.
But my wife's teaching everything, and it's going really well. We also love to travel. We love to take the kids on experiences, you know, take them to, you know, wild places.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
Oh, God, that's so loud, dude.
Yeah, it's all good.
What kind of places do you guys travel to?
We just recently came back from Mexico. Took them to Mexico. Went to Mexico City for 3 or 4 days. Then we went to Merida, Yucatan.
Oh wow!
Where my mom's from. So
what city?
Merida is the capital.
That's where the airport is.
Yes.
Is she from Merida?
She's from Merida.
Oh wow!
So we met up with her family. You know, we went to the Chichen Itza ruins. You know, we did all that. You know.
Yeah, I have family in Muna.
Okay.
So that's about 45 minutes from Merida.
Nice.
Right there.
Nice.
My wife's family is from there.
Nice.
We went there maybe 2016, I think it was. We went there and I was like, man, this is such a different life.
Yes.
Out there, bro.
Yes.
My wife was warning me. She's like, dude, you better be ready. The food's different. You might get sick.
Oh, no, it was bomb. The food was so good out there.
I got there, bro, and I'm chilling. And then after, like, the next day, she's all sick, dude. She had to go to the doctor, which is just like a neighbor.
Yeah, for sure. One door down.
And then I'm out the whole day. I'm not even speaking Spanish. I'm just with the cousins on like dirt bikes and shit.
That's it. It's a whole different lifestyle out there.
For sure.
We were out there in Mexico City. We got sick in Mexico City eating the tacos there. That kind of did us up. But Mexico City was cool.
Yeah.
It was a nice experience. We did the pyramids out there. We rode the ATVs out there. That was fun. We're riding the ATV. Me and my middle son, the 10-year-old, he's driving and I'm sitting on the back, right? And I'm filming him. And my wife and my daughter were up on one. And then my other son, he was with our driver. So it was 3 of us, three ATVs. And my wife was ahead. We were in the middle, me and my son. And then my son and the driver were in the back. That's what it was. So we're coming up to the pyramids and we go around the turn. I'm telling my son, just jam, just hit it, you know, and he's doing like funny turns and hitting the potholes.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we see a wheel rolling, right? And I was like, whoa, man, that's not our wheel because we're still hauling ass, you know? And next thing you know, I look down, the front wheel, the A-arm broke and it's still jamming. So I'm like, whoa. So I'm leaning back, trying to do like...
Oh, to even it out?
Yeah. So we start slowing down and it finally hits and boom. We didn't go over the bars, but we came to a stop. And I was like, damn, dude, they didn't even give us helmets to wear, you know? And I'm looking at the pictures I took of it. The helmets are strapped to the front of it. We weren't even wearing helmets, you know? Stupid, but it was funny, you know? We broke the ATV and they brought us another one, but just funny experiences like that.
For sure.
But
the pyramids are a trip.
Oh,
dude.
it was wild, man.
Did they have that where you like clap in front of it?
You hear the parrot. Yeah. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, very crazy. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about like ancient history and civilization and stuff. And it's like, man, you know, honestly, how I feel, dude. I feel like we've been through so many different stages of Earth, of life, that there's been times where we've been way more advanced,
absolutely,
than we are now, and just because maybe they didn't have an Instagram or Facebook or something back then, you know, that we always think that we're at the pinnacle of technology, and I think that we are for us,
yes,
for us
agreed,
right now.
Agreed.
But I see so many things that they'll just come out and be like, oh, we found a jawbone that dates back millions more years.
Yeah,
I'm like, what,
200 million years ago.
Yeah, and then that's just
right.
like a post real quick, something that just goes by. Yeah. Like, yo, this is kind of serious.
It's pretty
man.
big. Yeah, it's pretty big, and we just take it for granted, you know.
Yeah, but
yeah,
who knows, man? Who knows who built all that stuff?
The pyramids, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very fascinating, man. But I do like that life, like that, like very simple life, very like close to your family, and just not having a lot, but having what you need.
What you need, yeah.
I think that a lot of the stuff that we have, it comes with a lot too. You know, it comes with a lot of anxiety and stress, and you're just like, if you have a lot of shit, you're just like, fuck, what I do with all this stuff, dude.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Speaking on that, we had a fire at our house on Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Speaking of having a bunch of shit, you know, we're cooking. My wife's in the kitchen getting ready to cook some ribeyes. She had pies out. She had the charcuterie board. Like everything's decked out. You know, getting ready to throw the ribeyes in the oven. I'm in the backyard cooking a half a chicken. I just opened my first beer of the day. I'm about halfway down with the Modelo. The sun was setting. It was like 5 o'clock. I had the JBL speaker. I was bumping some iration. I was feeling good. I was like, damn, this is a nice Thanksgiving. My daughter's godfather's coming over for dinner. It like, man, everything's just feeling good. Then my son comes running to the backyard. Dad, the garage is on fire, right? And I was like, what? And I was like, all right. And I go, okay, man, settle down. You know, it's time for dad to do some dad stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go fight the fire, you know? Like, I got an extinguisher in the van. I got one hanging on the water heater. I could grab the garden hose from the front. Let's go see what we got. So I'm walking out. My wife's on the phone with 911. And she's like, yeah, you know, it's in the garage, da-da-da. The kids are hooking the dogs up. We have 3 dogs, hooking the dogs up to the leashes. And they're getting ready to go out. And I was like, damn, like, is it that serious, guys? I walk out in the front, and you see smoke coming out from under the eaves, right? And I was like, damn, you hear sizzling and cracking. And I'm like, all right, this is bigger than dad fighting the fire. You know, we don't have to leave this to the professionals. So I said, all I could do is move the cars out of the driveway. So I moved the cars, put them in the neighbor's house real quick. And we basically walk across the street and we watch the smoke coming out. And it's just like, damn, what could we do? But the fire department got there quick. You know, they came like 15 trucks deep. Got up on the roof, cutting holes in the roof. They cut the garage door, ripped the garage door out. Fought the fire. Then they come out and they say, hey, it started with this extension cord that's plugged into your Peloton and your elliptical. So somehow it shorted out and started the fire, lit the clothes, and then everything went up in the garage. What? How does that happen? You know, that shouldn't happen. Doesn't make sense. Yeah. But we've been out for 2 months now. So we're going through that whole thing right now, trying to get estimates for rebuilding this and that. my wife's kind of grabbing the bull by the horns and handling all that and getting all these people together. So, but they say we could be out for like a year and a half though, between permits, getting everything done. So insurance stepped up and they have us in a rental right now, but we're in a hotel for a month, and it makes you really realize like that night it happened. Like me and the kids and my wife, we all had the clothes on our back. Like we walked out, they yellow tagged it. You can't go in at night. You have to only go in the daytime, to get what you need, and that's it. But everything in the house was smoke damaged. All the clothes smelled like smoke. The mattresses, you got to throw away. The couches, everything's destroyed inside the house. So we're standing back like, damn, this is like, we lost everything, So.
Damn, bro, I'm so sorry to hear
That's
that,
all good.
man.
We're cool. That's the first time I teared up about it.
Damn, that's deep, bro. Wow. Especially if it didn't happen in the daytime, man.
We were planning to go to San Diego for the weekend to visit my wife's brother, and I was pushing for like 2 weeks, like, hit him up, let's go. And she's like, I just want to stay local, I just want to stay local and just chill. And then out of the blue, her brother calls and says, hey, come on down to San Diego. And she's like, that's so weird you called, because we were talking about it, She's like, no, I want to stay local. Had we been down to San Diego, we probably would have come back and it would have been flat, would have lost everything. I mean, there's still some stuff that we're able to keep.
Yeah.
And everything in the garage a lot. My wife has a 63 Volkswagen that's all done up. That was in there with the window rolled down. So all the upholstery is all smoked out and nasty inside. The paint, it's all like the clear is gone on it. So it looks horrible.
Yeah.
The adjuster comes out and they said, oh, we'll give you $2,000 towards it. What? Come on, man. That wouldn't even cover the bumpers, So we're bouncing back from that right now. That's our big struggle. But it was crazy, and it was weird because all the clothes is gone. So the next day to go shopping is Black Friday. So I've never done Black Friday shopping. Okay, so of course we got to go to Target. So it's like the kids got to get 3 pairs of pants, 3 shirts, underwear, socks, the works. So we have a shopping cart filled with stuff. And I catch one of my students from the barber school, and he's like, hey, what's up, man? He goes, oh, man, you doing your Christmas shopping? And I was like, yeah, pretty much. I mean, this just happened the night before, so I'm not going to go around telling everybody. We get in the line to go pay, and the cashier's like, wow, you're doing all your Christmas shopping early, huh? Yeah, pretty much, And it's just like, damn, like, she had no idea what we went through, And I'm not going to stand around and tell her, But, yeah, man, so first time ever Black Friday shopping was to buy clothes for the family. Pretty wicked. Crazy feeling, man.
Damn, bro, that's fucking deep, man. I'm sorry you guys had to go through that, bro.
It's all good, but it makes you realize, what's important in life.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of stuff that, we didn't really use. I've been getting on my wife, oh, get rid of this, get rid of that. And she jokes now and says, well, I finally got rid of it. So I feel bad. She had a lot of her stuff. Like a lot of her pictures from her son being young, all of her old stuff like that. She lost all that. Like the fire department, when they sprayed water, everything got soaked, and like rolls of film, So man. Stuff that can't get replaced. The material stuff, I could care less.
For sure.
Don't need any of that.
For sure.
But yeah, that was something, man.
That's heavy, bro.
Yeah.
So when something like this happens, like how do you keep it all together? How do you go through this in your head?
You just got to keep pushing, You got to be strong for the kids, especially, We've been going back, meeting with people that are going to do the roof and everything. And my daughter's like, I just want to come home. And like, we all do, So we will.
Yeah.
But, my oldest son, he's pretty tough with it. He hasn't broken down yet. The other 2 have. My wife's been dealing with it. She's having a hard time, but she's doing good with it.
Damn, man. It's hard to be the captain of the ship on that one too, man.
For sure.
You're feeling it too.
Yeah.
When do you get to feel it?
Yeah. Yeah.
When do you get to feel it when everybody's looking at you like,
you get to
what do I do?
We got to wait till nobody's looking to feel it.
Yeah. Sometimes it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the stigmas are changing a lot. Back in the day, I could never picture an older person, my dad or something, being like stressed out in front of me or just like hurt or something.
Yeah.
But those feelings happen.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, for sure.
It's human nature, man, woman, whatever.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it, dude. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it, and it feels good to let go of that weight that you're carrying. You know, just to talk about those emotional things, just like that. Just losing the home or going through this is so hard.
Yeah.
But some people just go through like every day, and they're just piled on, and they got to put that face on. Like, no, it's all good. It's all good. But it doesn't have to be all good all the time.
But, you know, right when we think we had it bad, we lost material stuff. Then come Christmas Day, you hear about that fire over, I think it was on Guava Street. Mm-hmm. The grandfather died, and there was like 3 kids in critical condition, you know? And I mean, you read that in the news, and you're like, damn, you know, what was ours really? You know, ours was nothing.
For sure.
We're displaced, you know, we're thrown a little bit out of whack, but these people lost people. You know what I mean? So we got away easy if you think about it.
It's all perspective, man. You know, that's one thing in life that'll really help you out is perspective. Mm-hmm. You know, just you have your own perspective of the situation, but it helps out to take a step out and evaluate the whole situation for everything. Because you could definitely just go into a depression, spiral down, and reasonably so.
Totally understandable.
Understandable, you know. And if you were to crumble and turn to alcohol or whatever, it's totally understandable. And it's just such life is so hard sometimes, and it's good just to be able to talk about like the things that are hard, and maybe somebody else can lend some sort of perspective, you know, just like you have. You know, somebody might be down on their luck, and then you give them a little perspective and you're like, damn, it feels good that you say it like that, because now it doesn't feel like the world's against you.
You know, the person standing next to you in the store, they could be really going through it, and it goes back to, hey, how you doing today? You know, keep your head up, you know. For sure. You just tell them that, and they think, damn, you don't even know me. You don't even know what I'm going through, but I felt that, you know. So
it's a crazy connection, man. When you talk to people, because I can talk to somebody, and the way that I interact with them, boom, I see their wall just drop. Their wall just goes down, dude. And just because they're in a certain field of business or working their job, they don't get treated right. Like, well, it's your job. But I'm a human, bro. Just like you. You're on lunch right now from your job. I'm at my job. You know, and it's not cool if you don't treat me like a person. And that's I think that like the more open people get to it, and especially people that are very respected, you know, like being a man to me is taking care of your responsibilities, having honor, and having respect. You know, it all the other stuff that I thought made a man when I was younger, like, dude, that was so toxic back in the day. You know, and it didn't help my growth at all. And it actually put me in a lot of situations that man, maybe I could have had a better time with these friends or these people, or if I didn't act this sort of way. Absolutely. Man, dude, I'm so sorry to hear that.
No, it's all good. I appreciate that.
You sharing that with us.
and it's funny because my social media, I don't put pictures of, you know, vacations we go on. I don't put pictures or stories about like, hey man, we had a house fire. Like, you know, it's just personal stuff. You know, you don't need to advertise for everybody. And I've been always a very, very private person. So even doing this interview, this is the first time I've ever done an interview. You know, but it feels good stepping out of the box. You know? And just speaking a little bit. You know.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like I say, your name's been ringing with me ever since I was a kid. Right on. And I'll hear it pop up every once in a while. And then when I started doing the podcast, like I was telling you before, it was just a step away from the conversation of cars. So even we would have people on the podcast that were into cars. Like, I didn't want to talk about what motor they had. I wanted to talk to them about like how it felt to get that motor and what they had to do to get to that point, you know. And then that led to having more locals on the podcast, and there's so many genuine local people around here that deserve their flowers.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Such as yourself, man.
Thank you. Appreciate
that. I know that there are barbers that have their own shops now that looked up to you.
Right on.
And if you didn't treat them with respect, maybe they wouldn't have that career. True. One of my good friends is a barber, Mo.
Okay. I know Mo. He used to be at the Barber Lounge.
The Barber Lounge, and he has his own shop now. Mo's been cutting my hair since high school.
Right on.
Same thing, $5 joint.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll have pictures of like XL tall tees on.
Yeah, isn't that funny? All the way to your knees, huh?
Good old days, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, the barbershops always just bring like a good vibe.
Yeah,
dude.
Good times. It's always been good times, man. Good place to network, socialize. It was like therapy even for some clients.
For sure. Yeah.
Get in there and get to talk with. It's like the podcast before the podcast.
Hey, definitely, man. So let's get back to it. 21-ish, you decide to get your own shop. What was your plan of action at that point?
The plan was keep the shop small and know that I could do it on my own if I had nobody else working with me. That was the plan.
Gotcha.
And if I hired guys, I hired guys, and if I didn't, I didn't. But at the time, nobody's going to barber school. You have to find old barbers, that would want to come work with you. So that's what we had to do. And it's funny that Sammy, I don't know if you remember Big Tall Sammy.
Yeah.
He came in one day. He was working like on the base or something, and I was cutting his hair, and he's like, "Hey man, I cut hair." I said, "Yeah, where'd you go to school?" He goes, "Oh, I never went to school, man. I just been cutting hair." And he's like, "Next time I come in, I'll bring some pictures of work I've done." So again, that's before camera phones. So he brought like legitimate photos in. He was like, "Look at this taper. Look at this fade." I was like, "Damn, that's pretty good." And he goes, "Yeah, man, I want to be a barber." And I was like, "All right, well, you don't have a license, but let's give it a try. Let's see if we can get you into the apprentice program, So he comes in, dude takes off, he starts doing really well. Get him into the apprentice program, and then Skeety shows up. We got Skeety in there. And in between, I had a bunch of other riffraff that, would last one day or a week, The hardest thing was just getting through the weeds, to get your good guys, We ended up with a real cool crew. Ended up getting the general. I don't know if you heard that name, the general, Mike. So it ended up being like us four, and it's like we just ran the shop for the longest time, and it was just us, and we clicked. Everybody worked well together, just running our mouths, busting each other's chops. It was just all day. It was all day fun. You go to work and you're just having fun all day, and you made money. So it was cool.
So this is on Ventura and Channel Islands?
Yep. Ventura Road. Yeah.
So how long were you at that location for?
That one, I opened it in 2002.
Okay.
And was there for like 10 years. And then we opened the Ventura shop.
Now, where was the Ventura shop at?
That was on Telegraph and Mills. So right across from the YMCA. Okay. Down the street from Ventura College.
Got you.
So that was a super cool location too. We had the Anacapa school there, the YMCA, the college, Bonaventure up the street. So a lot of people, a lot of kids,
What made you move to Ventura?
Just expanding. I wanted to do a second shop, and Ventura just seemed like it made sense. I looked at Fillmore too. But that was just so far to drive every day.
Yeah.
And we said, no, Ventura's kind of untouched. There was legends out there in Ventura. And that was it.
Mm-hmm. So you had both shops?
Had both shops going.
Okay. So you had the first shop for about 10 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then opened the next one. So total, we had them both going at one point for years too,
Yeah. So in those 10-year span, did you start to grow as an entrepreneur and start to look at life differently as, expanding, or were you like, okay, this is where I'm going to be at for a while?
I said, this is where I'm going to be at for a while. I started making money, and I think I wasted way more money than I should have, having fun, going to Vegas, partying, hitting that little scene, and we were all young. We were all super young, so that's kind of what we did. I wish I would have saved a lot more, you know, but didn't.
Yeah.
And it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, but you gain in memories.
Yeah, definitely.
Memories. That's how I feel a lot, because I think that I went through life a lot with, like, kind of with an older mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever my friends were gonna do something dumb, like I always thought about it. I was like, yeah, nah, this isn't a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But then now looking back, I'm kind of like, man, I wish I had a little more of those dumb times.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. See, we used to go to Vegas when I was like 17. We had
shit.
fake IDs. We went and got our IDs downtown LA, Alvarado Street.
Yeah.
You know, it was like $50 or something. They take your picture. Like they pull the screen down. They take your picture and say, meet me back here in an hour. All right, cool. And it was the worst fake ID ever, but it worked. You know, we used to cruise out to Vegas. We're gambling, drinking, having fun, you know. But I feel like I got a lot of that out of my system really early in life to now where being married, having kids, don't have to do that anymore. You know, now I'm like, I could work hard. I could go home. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like those experiences are very important to get out of your system.
Yeah.
And there's like a nice window where it's kind of accepted.
Yeah.
Where you're still like, yeah, you're an adult, but you still got a little time.
Yeah.
To fuck around.
Yeah.
So what clicked in you to decide like, yo, now is the time to open another location?
I don't know. I think I just had some money and figured that would be the best move. Me and my wife, we were looking at moving to Miami.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and we were thinking of opening a shop there. And I went on vacation for my 30th birthday, and I fell in love with Miami. I said, this is it. This is where I got to have a shop. And it was I loved it so much that I actually went back with my dad and my brother to go check it out. My dad's never flown with me anywhere, you know, and for us to go and be out there, my dad was like, man, this is kind of cool, you know, like I could see you living here. I went and left a deposit for an apartment, found a job at a shop. Everything was in the up and up. And I told the shop owner, I says, hey man, I'm planning to come here for about a year to 2 years, build my clientele, and then I'm going to open my own shop. And the guy took that as like major offensive, you know? And I'm like, man, I'm being straight up with you. This is what I'm doing, you know? And he's like, hey, either you're with me or you're against me.
Oh,
and I was like, damn, like that. I said, I got you. Okay, cool. So we come back to Cali, and, you know, a month goes by, and he's like, hey, you still coming out? And May, I was supposed to go, you know, and this is January, you know? And I said, yeah, I'm still planning. And he goes, well, hey, I don't have a full-time spot for you anymore. I only have 3 days a week, and it's going to be like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And I was like, man, those are horrible days, you know? And he's like, well, that's all I have. So then it went to like, hey man, I got 1 day a week for you. So he's like kind of like pushing me out. And then the apartment, it was ocean facing. It was like $2,000 a month. Ocean facing, like 10th floor, right on the beach, right? And they call me back and they say, hey, we quoted you the wrong place. It's actually city view, and you're on the 2nd floor. And I was like, I don't want that. You know, I want the ocean view. So they tried to gas me that, oh, it's better at night to see the lights. Nah, man, I want to see the ocean in the day, you know? So everything was telling us no, no, no. And my wife's like, you know what? I don't know if that's a good move. She goes, you know, why don't you focus on a shop out here, you know? So we said, okay. We went back to the drawing boards and then started looking around. We found that building, and we said, let's go for Ventura, you know?
Dude, that's crazy. Just uprooting like that all the way across the country.
Yeah, yeah.
What was it about Miami?
I don't know. I just like the vibe. My wife's from Puerto Rico. She's Puerto Rican,
okay.
You know?
Got you.
Like the music, the vibe is totally different than California. You know?
Sure.
It's way different. And get to traveling, you know, we've been to Puerto Rico a few times with the kids. Just love like the tropical. We've been to Bali. Went to Bali for 3 weeks back in 2019. It's just the ocean, I don't know, the humidity, the vibe. Everything was just there. You know, sure. I love it. Like, honestly, I want to move to Puerto Rico. That's where I think I'm gonna be.
Wow, yeah. Really?
I love it. I love it out there. If you ever get a chance to go, man, you gotta go.
I would love to, man. Puerto Ricans love it. Mm-hmm. They're very prideful.
Yes,
man.
Very, very prideful, and they don't want to be the 51st state.
Yeah,
you know, they're like, no, we're good.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of Honda guys out there, like
is there
fast cars?
Really?
Dude. Yeah. There's a lot of shows in the East Coast, and they'll send their cars on boats or what have you, and just come out and whip ass.
Really?
Dude. Yeah.
Damn, okay.
There's a lot of them that live in Florida, like in by Orlando, like Kissimmee and stuff like that. Okay. And you're talking like some of the fastest Hondas in the world.
Really? Damn.
Like, damn. There's actually a chart, and then it shows the flag next to it, and there's so many Puerto Rican flags.
Damn, that's wild. I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know what they do out there, what the gas is like. Or
yeah,
what,
right. But that's funny because I saw a lot of like motorcycles. They were big into motorcycles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you would rather be in you don't have any more desire to like move to Miami now?
No. Miami, it was fun. It was really fun. But I think raising kids out there, my wife was pregnant at the time too, so we would have raised our oldest one out there with my stepson. So who knows, where life would have veered at that point. Would it have been too fast for me? Would I have been barbering and like thinking, oh, I got to go promote in the clubs
For
too,
sure.
and then get into that lifestyle and then end
For
up
sure.
losing my wife doing this, So it feels like everything kind of like pushed us back and kept us here. But she's with it. She's ready. She'll move to Bali tomorrow.
That's what's up.
She lived in Bali actually for 7 years with her prior relationship. She had a business out there. Yeah. So that's why we went. She's like, it's 100% legit, safe, it's cheap. Let's go. And I was like, let's me and you go first, and then we'll go again. We'll bring the kids. And she's like, no, we're bringing the kids. They're cool. Trust me. Trust me. It's like, all right. So we get there, and it was beautiful. Beautiful. Food was amazing. Super cheap.
It was cheap?
Super cheap. Super
that's
cheap.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think the only place that I would think about moving out would be to Japan, dude.
Now, for some reason, I've got a desire to go to Japan.
Oh my God.
I'm not big into cars, barely into Pokemon cards because of my kids.
Yeah.
That's like but like anime, I'm not really into. And something about Japan's calling me. Maybe it's the sushi. I don't know.
Yeah.
But something is telling me to go. And I'm always looking for cheap flights on the internet. On
Dude,
the cheap
you
flights
should
app.
really go, bro.
I need to.
Oh my God.
I need to.
And like I always tell this to people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, this was a little pre-pandemic, so I don't know if prices has changed. But if you saved up like $3,000, I think you'd be straight. Flight, place to stay, the travel, food, everything there. It's not even that expensive.
Okay.
And they understand English. It's easy to get around, but like the culture is amazing.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, I bet.
There, you don't see any trash on the floor. And you go to Tokyo, and then the New York City of Tokyo is Shibuya. So that's like in Tokyo Drift, where they like drift through the crowd. I don't know if you see that, but that's like the main area.
Okay.
So that's like super Times Square area. Well, there's no trash on the floor, dude.
Nice.
There's no trash. Nobody messing with you. Nobody being rude. Everybody's just doing their own thing.
Got it.
It's so beautiful, dude. That's like one place I would always recommend people to go to. And I'm telling my wife, like, man, if we just rented like an Airbnb for a month or something, like why couldn't we?
Yeah.
Just fly here.
Yeah.
Stay for a month, handle work remote, and live.
Yeah.
Because we would go there for about a week at a time. But I want to see what it's like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I want to see what it's like waking up and not having anything to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to go eat at the cafe.
Yeah.
I'll be back real quick or something like that,
sure. For sure.
But why not?
Yeah.
If you have the means to do it, why not, dude?
Absolutely. And with us homeschooling the kids, we can do that.
For sure.
We could pack them up and go. So, again, like it's, Bali for 3 weeks. I said, next time we go, we got to go for 4, or longer. Let's go to Thailand for a week and then come back to Bali for 3, There's so much out there to see, and it's cheap if you think about it. If you save up, you're like, let's just do it, Let's go.
Relative to what people spend for every weekend, I'm sure when you were going out, you spend, few hundred bucks
for sure.
a night
For sure.
buying bottles or something like that. Especially at the time when the shop was popular and Pangea's is around.
Yeah, right. And the bottles were only 300. Okay, we'll take.
Give
3.
me 2. Let's do it. Yeah. But when you put it into that perspective, especially like for car guys, like you could, instead of having that set of wheels, you could have this memory for your entire life.
Yeah,
dude. Like that's so much more valuable than just a material object.
So we laid over in Hong Kong for 24 hours on the way to Bali.
Oh, very cool.
So we got to go stay in a hotel for one night, and we hopped on the subway. None of us speak the language, but we just hopped on the subway, and it went like under the water. I mean, you can't see out the windows, but we popped up, we transferred, we ended up at some like theme park. It was closed when we got there, but we're like, this is cool, eating random food. And the kids to this day, they still say, remember when the cab driver, I don't know why the cab driver, he's hitting the gas pedal like this, just vroom, 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 as we're going down the street. And all of us are like, what the hell's going on here? You know, like I filmed it because it was just so ridiculous. Like, what is this guy doing? He had like 2 or 3 cell phones on his dashboard. And remember back in the day when you get the pop-ups on your computer and you have to, as soon as you close one down, like 5 more would pop up. That's what this guy's phone was doing, is pop up. And he's closing down these things. He's vroom. And I was like, man, if this isn't giving me anxiety, I don't know what it is, you know? But it's so funny, like just the experience though. Like you said, the memories that the kids have that we made, you know, in Hong Kong for 24 hours. Like, I don't know anybody that's been to Hong Kong personally,
For sure.
you know, and if they have, they've never spoken about it, you know. But, you know, to say that we went to Bali, we go to Mexico, you know, we've been to Puerto Rico, you know, let's go to all these places. Let's just go, you know, and let's experience it. Let's see what's out there, you know. Yeah. And the kids are with it. They love it. And, you know, my wife's down, so shit, it doesn't get much better.
Yeah, for sure, dude. And hopefully when they get older, they take their kids out
Absolutely.
there.
That's the goal.
I tell my son all the time, I say, dude, your kid's life better be better than your life. Yeah. And I'm going to make that job as hard as possible as I can for you, dude.
For sure.
And we're always just trying to do fun stuff, you know, because you just get caught up in like the everyday grind of shit. And especially me, dude. Like I'm like a computer, bro. Where it's just I got shit to do. I'm just doing it, and I have to stop me. Like, yo, stop that right now.
Got it.
Fuck it. Just go home, spend time with the family, whatever. It'll wait. Yeah. You know. And before, when I was growing the business, I didn't do that as much as I should have, but maybe it was just that time I needed to let everything cook. But now, like, when it's time for family, it's time for the family.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Like you have to make time because, man, my son is 15 right now.
Okay.
5 years, he's gonna be 20.
Yeah.
Like, I only have that small a window to spend as much time with him as I can before he starts his own life. Yeah. You know, starts to work and starts to drive and hang out with his friends.
Going to Vegas without you.
For sure. You know, we just went to Mountain High and I'm up there and there's all kinds of girls and stuff. I'm like, son, you need to be doing this when you're in your 20s. Yes. Get a cabin. Get 10 friends, girls and guys, dude. Get the cabin. Like, these are experiences that you need to have. Like, don't look at it as like, oh, damn, well, that's like $300. Like, nah, dude. No. Look at that $300 investment into your memories that you're gonna have.
Definitely.
And that's one thing that I never had it put to me like that. That was one thing that I had to learn. And good thing with the business and traveling and, you know, setting up at trade shows and things like that, it kind of expanded my mind and made me realize that traveling isn't as hard as I thought it was in the past. Yeah. So you need your plane ticket, your transportation when you're to wherever you're landing, and your hotel room. Yeah. Everything else, you can figure it out.
All you need is a passport and a credit card. You go anywhere in the world.
Oh, dude. Hell yeah.
Just go.
That's
figure it out when you get home.
That's facts. So I want to get back to when you were talking about in Florida, the barber kind of like treating everybody as an enemy.
Yeah, that was a super strange concept to me.
What's it like here in the 805 Ventura, Oxnard, Camarillo, Wainimi, like that barber network? What is that like?
So now the network is totally different. It's out of my touch now because I don't really know all the shops that are popping up, because now there's shops on every corner. Everybody's got a shop, you know. But back when there was maybe 10-15 shops, everybody knew everybody. You know, the state board comes into town to come bust one shop. There's a text that goes out to all the shops. Hey, state board's here at the shop. Heads up, you know. Everybody got to clean up, you know. That was respect among all the shops. There was never hate among shops. It was always love. It was always there's enough business out there for everybody. You know, don't hate on me. Like, if you don't like my cut, go over here. If I'm closed, go up the street to the other shop. Tell them I sent you, you know. If you come back, I love it. If not, if you stick with them, cool. That's cool too, you know. So there was a lot of honor and pride in being a barber back then. And now I feel it's more like an easy hustle for kids to come out and just make quick money and just, you know, live it up young, have, you know, a big pocket and be able to do whatever they want. So it's not really respect amongst barbers anymore. Because when I was taught at school, you never charge another barber for a haircut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's what I learned.
Oh, shit.
You know? So I'd be cutting a guy's hair in the shop, and he'd be a 70-year-old man, and he's like, "Hey, I used to be a barber in Colorado." Is that right? No way. So we're talking. He's talking stories about, he's a legit barber. So he gets up to pay. How much owe you? I said, "Hey, man, it's on me. You're another barber. I got respect." And this is what I was taught. And they're like, "Really? Hey, man, that's cool." Now, a barber goes to another shop. They're charging you $40 just like everybody else. It's like, damn, there's no honor amongst each other anymore.
Yeah. When did you notice that started to change?
Man, probably like 10 years ago when it started getting into social media. I think social media is the downfall of society, bro. It's so bad for kids and people in general. Just it's really bad how it's going. That's my personal opinion, but
it's valid.
Okay. I just feel like everybody has to try to be a celebrity barber. Like, I feel like I've been a celebrity barber, cutting all my clientele. All my clientele celebrities in their own way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're a celebrity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, babe?
Right? You know what I mean? Like, you treat everybody with respect. You don't know what anybody's doing for business or who they are, you know? And everybody's money is green.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you have 10 million in the bank or 10 in the bank,
Yeah.
If you're willing to spend your money on me, respect.
For sure.
So everybody is different, like in their thought process now. So I feel like the barber industry is just, it's going down. It's going down. But it's a new era of young guys coming up that they changed the whole thing. So it's not the old guys doing it no more.
Yeah.
So it's evolved, and it's evolved to something that I don't say care for, but everybody else loves it. So
yeah, I feel you. Social media definitely is the downfall of humanity. I definitely feel that. It highlights so much. It highlights so much flaws that we have in society, and it congratulates all the bad stuff. And I'm part of it.
Yeah,
I'm part of it, and I think the way that I justify it is that I understand. I understand what it's doing. I understand what it's doing to our society. But I also understand that if I want to succeed in the society,
you have to.
This is what I have.
You
to
have
do.
to use it as a tool. It's free.
This is the cards that we were dealt, and if this is what I want to do, like, I got to do it.
Yeah.
I got to do it my own way. I got to figure it out my what makes sense to me, that I don't have to lose integrity over it, which it's definitely hard, man. There's those games that you could play, and sometimes like you'll get that like if I do this is kind of like the quick way to do it. And it's like, nah, you gotta just keep yourself in check.
Yeah.
But just the same thing that you say about barbering, there's guys that are listening to this right now in the car community, and they're like, yeah, it's the same thing. In every single sort of community.
Yeah.
It's just changing and changing. Even in the entrepreneur space,
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm an entrepreneur because that is the new word for a hustler.
Yeah.
I've been a hustler my entire life. Now, when I hear like these entrepreneurs and their like speeches and stuff like that, I'm like, man, you don't even seem like a real genuine ass person, dude. You don't seem like anybody that I would ever even want to learn from. But like, you have a big following and people are listening to you. Like, nah, dude, you're like straight up full of shit.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons that I love to do this pod and sit with people and just chop it up with them, because then it really gets to tell who they are, like down to the core. And then give people if they come off bad, I'm like, I'm not fucking with that dude. But more than time than not, like, damn, man, that dude's cooler than I thought he was.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Just because he doesn't have a huge following or huge numbers or things like that, like, nah, this is somebody that I could relate to.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good aspects of it too.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see it, and it would be nice if my business wasn't intertwined as much as it is.
Yeah.
Because I could just fall back a little bit. but it's just one of those.
That's what it is.
Necessary evil.
Yes, it is. It really is. And for upcoming barbers, it's free for them, and it's getting them out there. It's getting them, and it's such an easy tool to use.
For sure.
And I've been on it since MySpace, whatever, and I never really got into it though. Like I have it because you have to have it, but it's just hard. It's hard for me to do it, And people are like, you just got to post a picture. I'll do a before picture, and I forget to do the after. So I got a bunch of before pictures. So it's like, damn.
Yeah, sometimes it's better just to hire somebody.
Yeah. But it's a great tool for business. It really is. You can't knock that. And if that's what it's for, versus, looking up to somebody, one of your friends that, I just bought a new truck. I just did this. I went here, got a new puppy, and they're putting their whole life out there on that. That affects some people. They see that and say, damn, like I've been wanting a new puppy for 5 years. I can't afford a puppy, or my car's broken down. Or look at my friend. Like, look at this guy. I don't even know this guy, but he's got a new car, new house, new wife. What's he doing that I'm not doing? I'm working 3 jobs, Why can't I get on that level? And a lot of it's smoke and mirrors, and, people say, yeah, we understand that, but how much of it really is, how much of it is we're trying to live up to a lifestyle of somebody else that's not us, Yeah. So I feel like staying off it and staying like private has been a good thing for me.
I bet, dude. I bet. I could just imagine if I didn't have to use social media. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
As much as I don't, like, I've always been like a tech kid. Mm-hmm. Like, even when I was in high school, I was selling CDs.
Nice.
And I needed to learn how to download music. Mm-hmm. I needed to save up to buy a computer with a burner and then an external burner and do all that stuff. So I was always on the computer, always online. So this is all just so second nature to me. Even coming down to doing the podcast, like all of this, 100% of it I do.
Okay.
From reaching out to the guest to posting it online, editing it and everything. And it was just, it just clicked so well to me because I feel like I'm that generation of like a computer person, which is so hard sometimes because I'm just like, I don't know if I could step away, dude. Mm-hmm.
That's what you know.
That's what I know, and that's what I'm good at. And I'm good at marketing and making the product look good and stuff. It's because like this is just one of my talents that I have is being online. But it, like I said, is just a necessary evil, dude. Because sometimes I'm just like, damn, dude, I've just been scrolling, and now I start to see this stuff, and this is just affecting my day. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my god, I can't believe what Biden's doing, and you see this mass shooting, and this is like, bro, we're not supposed to know all this info, dude.
Yeah. And it eats you up.
Hell yeah,
it takes you into it, and you spend a lot of your day, updating your wife. Did you see this? What happened? Did you see that? What happened?
For sure.
Why are we even talking about that?
Yeah, for sure, dude. Like, what the fuck? Because my day's chilling. Mm-hmm. If I was to write my day down on a piece of paper, and this is what I did when I woke up to when I went to sleep, like, all of that is just like, oh, that sounds pretty cool, dude. You're just not stressing out much. But then to me, I'm just stressing out because, oh my god, this is going on and this, and I don't know what's gonna happen with business, and hopefully it's not gonna slow down or whatever, and it's just fucking going. So I gotta like figure out a way to like slow down internally. You ever have any problems with like anxiety or anything like that?
I don't think so. Maybe once or twice, get like a little attack. It's the first time I ever had like an anxiety attack. One of probably 2 or 3 times. I feel like when I'm driving in the car, I always have to have like cold air blowing on me. Okay. I don't know what it is. We're flying to Cancun, and I don't know why the airplanes do this. Like when they're backing up or something, they turn off the air. Okay? And it went from like cool air to like 1,000 degrees in there. You know what I mean? And I'm like instantly sweating, and I started like panicking, and I'm like, man, somebody do something. You know what I mean? And I'm buckled in, and I can't do anything. That's the only time I really had like anxiety. But other than that, I don't think I really felt anything like I worry too much. I think one thing that bothered me was, like say on social media, or like you get a bad Yelp review. You know what I mean? Like that eats me up. Stuff like that. Somebody leave like a crazy comment on on a picture, you know, and they put something like negative. I don't know how these celebrities deal with that. Like,
For sure.
because they, you would just have to turn the comments off, because you read some of the stuff that people put and you're just like, damn, dude, that's ruthless. You know, like, how could you even say something like that, you know,
to another person?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's what would eat me up.
Yeah, you're totally right, man. I'm a big follower of Joe Rogan.
Okay.
I listen to his podcast all the time. And one thing that he says is just don't ever read the comments. Don't read anything. He doesn't read any comments.
Okay.
Whatever he puts out there, he'll put it out there. Boom. That's it.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
I don't know what the attraction is of like, yo, what is this fucking Johnny 37 Civic think of me?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Who cares? Who cares, right?
Yeah. But then just, for me anyways, just taps into those like insecurities of like being younger and never having anybody tell you like, oh, you're worthy, or you're doing good, you're doing a good job. And like sometimes I still want to feel that. Yeah. You know, that what I'm doing, is it being received? You know, how is it being received? Like, is this something? Yeah. You know, because the only representation that we get if we're doing a good job is that we're making sales still,
yeah,
which is awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. But the reason that I even have the business is just being a creative person. You know, because if not, I could just sell boxes, dude. Oh, you need some boxes? I got you. We'll send you some boxes. The products that we offer is like a part of my creativity, and to the core, it's just me being a creative person. So that's kind of how I see it. But then I'm just like, man, I don't know if I ever even want to get to that point where it's like on a real public scale. Yeah. Because then you'll start hearing that stuff. Like, I can't hear something about my kids. I can't hear nothing about my wife.
That would drive me nuts.
Like, literally want to pull up.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You know? It was like, nah, dude, I'm kind of chill where it's at. And then my wife on the other end, anybody could tell her anything. Yeah. She's chilling. Okay. I'm like, man, is that like a skill? Is that like a skill that you could use where you could learn it or hone it in or what? But yeah, man. I can't see how people treat others online. Yeah. But online is still real, because if I see somebody online and they're like talking super crazy to someone, I'll hold that against them.
Absolutely.
For sure.
You could make or break yourself online real quick, you know? Yeah. It's a fine line.
It definitely is, man. So we get to Ventura, you open your second shop. How did all that go?
It went great. I had one guy that I used to cut his hair. He wanted to become a barber, and he's like, man, I'm gonna rock with you. He goes, let's open Ventura. I said, sweet, let's do it, you know? So we did it. It was me and this guy Chico. Just me and him. There was 2 other chairs available, and then again weeding through the people, and finally found a cool crew. You know, so it flowed so good. Ventura is a total different vibe from Oxnard. You know, Oxnard, we had the graffiti on the wall, and then we finally grew up a little. We painted over it. Ventura, you know, we had the flat screen TVs. Oxnard, we had the old school TVs. You know, finally upgraded it, but they were like, man, you know, you forget about Oxnard, man. You got to help us out and hook us up. So made both shops look similar. They were very identical, same floor, same paint, same TVs. Everything was good. So yeah, man, it was fun. It was really fun, and it was a good move. It was a great move, and then Ventura was just different. Ventura was different. It was Oxnard was a bunch of skin fades, bald on the side, razor on the side. You know, line it up. Ventura, they're like, just give me a number 2 all over. all right, done. You know, there you go. Just super quick, just totally different walks of life, you know, and 15 minutes away from each other, you know. Yeah, so weird.
Are you in Oxnard now?
Yeah, back in Oxnard.
So tell me, as being somebody who's grown up in Oxnard, business owner in Oxnard, what is your feeling about Oxnard objectively?
Just in general?
Just in general, as a city, as a culture, as people that come out of there.
I love Oxnard. It's our roots. It's so diverse. It's a melting pot. It's probably the biggest melting pot of Ventura County, you know. I think there's a lot of pride in Oxnard, you know. That one comedian came on, you know, to do Levity Live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She got roasted.
Yeah, you know? Whitney Cummings.
Yeah, and she canceled her show.
For sure.
But hey, Oxnard,
as she should have.
Yeah, absolutely. Oxnard came to life and stood up you know, and let her know and let other people know that read the comments, you know, don't mess with us. You know? Oxnard could be kind of divided, but I feel like at the end of the day, everybody would come together if we needed to.
For sure.
You know,
I feel the
that
same.
we're a very strong city, very prideful, you know.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that.
It definitely made me who I am. We live in Camarillo now.
Okay.
And sometimes we'll go to Oxnard. I don't know for what. When we go to my parents' house or something, we're driving around and like, man, there's so much fucking culture here, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, I love it. I love how you could just do whatever you want there. You can eat whatever you want. You can. It's just so much freedom. But then there's also like the stigma that like I almost got stuck into is like what I call the Oxnard mentality. You know, is not really having bigger dreams or ambitions and being just
Content
happy with what you have, and using that as an excuse
to not want to do better or do better. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Because well, I didn't fucking grow up here. I didn't have this. I didn't. They have every single excuse.
Yeah,
you know, and most people that I know from Oxnard are very egotistical and prideful. And if you were able to look at that mentality, that's like a real pussy ass mentality to have.
I hear you. Yeah,
right. To be like making excuses
why
for why
you can't get out or why you
do
can't
better.
do better. Yeah.
So when I was growing up in Oxnard and I had those same excuses, I didn't have anybody that I could look towards and be like, oh, well, that guy is doing it. I went to school with that guy.
Yeah.
I know him. I grew up with him. Like, I know that dude's a hard worker. I didn't have any of that. You know, so I'm very critical of Oxnard. It's because I have so much love for the city. And I'm just like, hopefully I can have some sort of impact in the city that maybe one kid will be like, well, that guy, he went to this school like I did.
Yeah.
If he could do it, like, why can't I?
Yeah, for sure. I did a lot with the Oxnard PAL, the boxing program, and them back when they were starting off. We used to go to all the boxing tournaments, and the kids coming from all over the nation, they'd come to the Oxnard PAL. That was like the hub for the tournament. But they would come and you have to be clean shaven. And some kids coming from New York, they got lineups and everything. And they're like, oh, you have to have your hair cut and you have to have your beard completely cut off. They're like, what? Where can we go? So what did we do? We took 2 chairs from the Oxnard shop. We set them up in the gym, and we're doing haircuts there and knocking the beards off. They're like, what are you charging? And we're like, just give us, whatever you want. Donation. So we had a bucket, and then at the end of a week, everything we made, we just donated it to the PAL anyway. So that's why we can't really charge. So we're just like, here. But we did so much, and a lot of kids that went through the PAL, they see me now older, and they're like, damn, dude, I remember you. I remember you from the PAL. The boxing tournaments are just working out at the gym, coming hanging out with us, It's kind of cool, seeing the young kids. Now that I'm 44 years old, there was babies that I was cutting their hair, and now they're in barber school, or they're, coming up, and they're like, damn, dude, I remember you. I remember you told me this one time. Like, damn, like, I'm glad I have some kind of a positive,
for sure,
impact on the youth.
For sure.
And I think a lot more people need to do that. A lot more people need to share knowledge of how to become successful. My landlord in Ventura, very, very successful man, had over 100 commercial properties between Ojai and Ventura. Dude was doing it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He's huge. I asked him one time, I says, hey, how do I get to your level? I said, I don't need 100 real estate properties. I said, I want 1 commercial property, maybe 2, but I'll start with 1. He goes, let me ask you, what were you doing when you're 18 years old? And I go, 18 years old, I was getting ready to go to barber school, did a little bit of partying, but in barber school. He goes, 18 years old, I was figuring out how I'm going to pay my mortgage that's due at the end of the month for my first commercial property. And I'm thinking, okay, well, at 18 years old, nobody in the world decides I'm going to buy a commercial property at 18 years old, unless somebody physically
you gotta
told
be put
him,
on.
You got to be put on.
For sure.
His dad or a mentor, somebody told him, look, forget the partying, put this money together. You need $5,000, $5,000, put it down on this and you're going to buy your first property. That's what the youth need to hear.
Yeah.
Okay. So I asked him, I go, so what, how do I get my first building? He goes, worry about getting your first house first. Right. And I had a house and I was like, okay, like that's kind of rude, but like, all right. And then he goes, you need to focus on getting your house, and then don't worry about commercial property. Just get a house, And I was like, okay. And then I tried to pick his brain one other time. He was really, really short with me. Like he didn't want to help me out, I was like, damn. Well, the dude ended up catching COVID and died,
Wow.
And I was like, man, that sucks. But you know what sucks even more? The knowledge that he had that he could have shared with 10 people, that they could have shared it with 100 people to bring everybody up.
For sure.
So everything that he had is gone. I mean, his family has it now, of course. They're wealthy, but how to get there, I will never know.
Yeah.
And he could have easily told me during that one haircut,
Yeah.
this is what you need to do. Follow these steps and you'll get your first spot. Simple.
Yeah, it's that famine mentality, man. You think like, well, if I teach you how to open up a barbershop, then you're going to take my clientele. That already makes you think like less of yourself.
Yeah.
Like if somebody that never even had a shop and you've had a shop for years,
and you're threatened by
them,
you shouldn't be having a shop.
Sure. And that's the way that I use the Oxnard that's in me, that ego and pride. I use it that sort of way.
Gotcha.
So like, bro, I'm not a bitch, dude. I'm not gonna make no excuses just because I didn't have this or I didn't have that or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's perspective.
Yeah.
You decipher everything that you're saying and what are you really actually saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then if you don't like what you're really saying, you gotta figure out some different language
definitely
to be telling yourself.
Yeah.
And that like that mentality, like also get it to this day, like people say, oh, it's easy for you to say. I'm like, fool, we went to school together.
Yeah,
what are you
yeah.
talking
Yep.
about, dude? Like
Yeah.
we partied together.
Yeah.
What do you mean? When I was grinding, like you were doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Like you weren't worrying about what I was doing.
Yeah.
You weren't worrying that I wasn't having a good time. But now it's like, now I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
Nah, dude.
Yeah.
So with the influence that I do have, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to pass that knowledge on to these young kids. Even with the skate brand, I was telling you. So it was March of 2020. No, 2022. Excuse me, last March.
Okay.
It was last March, and one of my good buddies, he works at a skateboard distribution company where there's like 5 or 6 brands under it.
Okay.
He's like, dude, if you want an account, we can get an account, no problem.
Okay.
Which that's like getting an account with like Wall or something
Yeah,
like that.
for
You
sure.
know, it's
Okay.
gonna be like nobody off the streets is gonna be like, hey, can I get an account?
Yeah.
So I already recognized that was a layup, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, cool. I always wanted to make a skate shop and then made it, and like fast forward to now, like always sending kids like free gear and stuff, and we have a sponsored skater, and just like trying to give back to these people that like I know that life is hard for them.
Yeah.
I know that like this is the only joy that they get when they're at the skate park, or even if they're working on their car or what have you. That's the impact that I want to have. I don't want people to look at me with anything but like, I would like to have something like that.
Yeah.
In the future, or something to aspire to, rather than like your OG cousin or brother that was banging and you're like, damn, well, I want to be like that because he's feared.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he's feared, but he doesn't have nothing.
Yeah.
And you don't have to live by that lifestyle. You can make whatever you want.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, dude, like no matter if you were born in the hood of Oxnard, you're born in one of the best places in the world, dude. Southern California, right next to the beach.
Yeah.
Like, and then we start highlighting all these stories of successful people like yourself, like Ronnie Jenkins.
Yep.
And it's just like these guys, they came from the bottom.
Yeah.
And then look where they're at now.
Absolutely.
And it's dope just to have locals on and just share their stories, man. Hopefully this will put a seed in somebody one day.
Yeah, man. Hopefully that'd be great.
So the shop in Ventura, what happened come 2020?
2020, I was talking to one of the barbers about buying the shop, and he was down to buy the shop. Everything was all good, and then boom, the pandemic hits, and I hit him up like, "Hey, bro," I go, "We don't know where we're going. If you still want to buy the shop, it's still available. You know, I lowered the price a little bit." And he's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm still down. I'm still down." I was like, "All right, cool." You know, so he bought the shop, and during the pandemic, you know, it was a scary time, but he went all in, and dude's done nothing but great stuff with the shop. He's doing very well now. Stilo's Barbershop. Shout out to Stilo's Barbershop.
Nice, and that's
So,
the one in Ventura.
That's Ventura now.
Shout out to you, man. That takes balls too.
Absolutely,
especially
man.
in the pandemic.
Yeah, that was wild, you know. But I mean, I told him it's gonna be fine. You know, like you're investing, but the numbers tell the truth. You know, you see the numbers and you know you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
You know, so he was confident. His girl, I don't know if it's his wife. I think his girl. She was with it, you know. And again, that's the hardest one. If you get your wife on board, you know, you're probably all right. You know? And usually when they're against you, they're probably right, you know. But we don't listen is the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he's done very, very well. So yeah.
And now the shop in Oxnard, is that still around?
That one, I sold it to another guy from the shop, and he took it over, and he ran with it for a couple of years. He switched it around, remodeled once or twice. And then it wasn't going as good as it should have been. And then he decided to shut it down, and his wife took over. They turned it into an eyelash bar, eyelash. Gotcha. And now they're both doing very successful with that.
Oh, very cool.
It's not a barbershop anymore, but he's doing eyebrows, eyelashes. He's doing really great with that now. She's doing really great. She's teaching classes. So again, they're successful, which is great. I'm glad they didn't just go under and they lost, you know what I mean? So they dug it out of the ground and pulled it back up, you know, so good for them.
Are those very similar professions?
I don't know anything about the eyelashes and eyebrows. I know it's expensive. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know anything about doing it, but I would imagine it's very similar, ran the same way the barbershop was ran, you know.
Yeah. So after 2020, then what happened for you?
So sold the shop and bought a Sprinter van, bought a Mercedes Sprinter van, and said I'm going mobile. And during the pandemic, we didn't have nothing but time. You know, they shut us down, and you know we didn't work for a long time, and said, okay, we're gonna work on this van. You know, so again, working with my kids. You know, hey, this is how you chop wood. You know, we got the chop saw out, and he's chopping wood. My wife helped me hang the tongue and groove up on the ceiling with a nail gun. We're up there doing everything. You know, did all the electrical. So basically my family helped me put it all together, and my neighbor across the way, he did the upholstery.
Oh, very
cool. So he hooked me up with the upholstery, a guy named Manny from Quality Auto Upholstery.
Where's that at?
Right here on Callens here in Ventura.
Okay.
And super nice guy. Him and his dad run the shop. So he hooked it up. It looks amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's been so fun, man. Cutting hair out of the van, pulling up different places. I pulled up behind the fairgrounds out at the beach. Mm-hmm. There's usually like a hot dog stand there, or like a lady selling smoothies. There was nobody there that day, so I pulled up to cut the guy that runs the little booth where you pay $4 to go park for the day.
Oh, okay. So
I pulled up there, and he hopped in, and I cut him up, had the door open, and there's people walking by, jogging, exercising. The ocean's right there. It's just like, damn, this is it. You know, this is California, right here, you know, at its finest.
So, I think I saw that video, dude. That did look super peaceful.
Yeah,
bro.
it was dope. It was really dope. You know?
So how often are you cutting now?
So I cut now in the evenings because I went back to teaching at Lou Ross, the barber school here in Ventura.
Oh, okay, very cool.
So I did that like 10 years ago for like a year. I quit, went back, did the night class, and then quit that. And then the owner hit me up, hey man, help me out for like 7 weeks just to get this class rolling. And I just stuck with it. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday I do that. And then in the evenings I go cut hair. And then I was working with my buddy for the last year doing electrical work, started getting into being an electrician. So I do that. I was doing that 3 days a week. Then I dropped it down to 2 days a week. So just learning another trade, you know, learning one more thing. And again, it's fun, you know, like I almost stepped completely away from cutting hair.
Oh, wow.
Just because it got to the point where I was kind of like over it. I've been doing it so long. It's like, man, like there's got to be something else out there. So I told my buddy, hey man, if you ever need help with the electrical work, let me know, dude. I'll come help you. Like, you don't even have to pay me. I just want to come learn, you know? And he's like, yeah, I'll hit you up. He hit me up 3 different times. And each time I was on vacation somewhere.
Oh, shit.
And then the last time he's like, look, bro, he goes, tell me when you can start, and you can start that day. And I go, when we get back from vacation this week, I'll start next week. Done. So, learned that whole trade with them. Been with them for like a year. So I've taken the last 2 months off because of the incident at the house. So I miss it though. But the money is so much better cutting hair versus the electrical work, So it's hard to take a big hit, but I really enjoy doing the electrical work. It's way more labor intensive. I go home super tired. I'm filthy. I'm covered with sawdust, but I feel like I did a bunch of work, So I don't know if it's helping me appreciate barbering more because it's easier work, more money versus the labor digging a hole. I mean, sometimes you got to dig a trench, and I'm not a hole digger. I mean, I don't like using shovels. That's hard work, you know? So the guys that are doing all this labor work, man, shout out to them. Like, you're a different breed.
For sure.
There's some stuff that I'm not made to do.
Yeah.
And digging is one of them,
For sure. Do you feel if you stepped away from barbering that that you would lose some of your identity?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay. It seems like it'll be real hard just to stop doing something that you've been doing
just
for
to
so
completely
long.
like throw my clippers away. I think that would be hard. I still feel like I do a couple haircuts here and there, you know what I mean? But it would be kind of nice just to change careers though and just see something different, like completely. And then again realize that, man, I miss talking to people. I miss, rather than the same 3 or 4 guys on the job site doing the electrical work, hearing the same jokes. I'd rather, talk to you. Like now in the van, it's way more. It's like a podcast. I even told one of my guys, man, we should host a podcast in the van.
You really should.
Like, how dope would that be?
You really should, dude.
And he's like, we should do it. We should do it.
Yeah.
So who knows?
You just put up a camera right there, dude, and just have like a lapel mic or something.
Yeah.
Like it's not even that big of a deal.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Okay.
Like content is the future, for sure. When we were growing up, had TV. 1 through 13.
Yeah.
Or if you had money, like up to like the 60s
Yeah,
or something like that.
We used to get 1 through 13, and then there was like 63. Like how random was that, right? I don't know what it was. It was like always a news station.
And then there was the 0 one where you're just like, oh shit, it's all titty real quick.
Yeah, right. It was green, huh?
It's a green titty real quick.
Right?
Hell yeah.
When it froze just for a second. Like, whoa.
Yeah, but now like I don't even watch TV.
Yeah.
If I watch anything, it'll just be Netflix or what have you. So I feel like it's just getting more into whatever demographic that you're in. So if you're a barber, that's all the content you're going to consume.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to watch a TV show, I want to watch a TV show that has barbers in it. Because that's what I do.
Yeah.
So if you had something like that and just had it up, and maybe you have 5 clients throughout the day, and then you just chop it up a little bit and just make it interesting. Like I could definitely see there being a value in that.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, you have it. The being able to have a conversation, like that's what it is to be a barber.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
Be able to just pick people's brains and
Yeah,
talk about stuff.
yeah.
There's a lot of value in that.
Yeah.
So that would be cool, man.
It'd be different. It'd be a different concept,
sure. So when you decided to do electrical, what was your motivation for that? Like what actually attracted you to that trade?
Just something different. I know that electrical is a great business to be into. And I had told my wife at one point, being that, we've had business, we've run business, my wife's done her business. I said, how great would it be to start an electrical business, have me put in the time now to become an electrician, a licensed electrician. By that time, my 13-year-old son would be 18. My 10-year-old would be 16, ready to get into it. My daughter could be, en route. So I could have the 2 laborers, my boys and myself, my daughter doing like the appraisals, and my wife doing the books. And it's 100% family business. All money in, no money out, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So why pay out other people, and just keep it small, keep it solid. And my wife's like, that's a great idea. She goes, but what if the boys don't want to do that? My oldest son, he says he wants to be an engineer. Since he's been small, he's like, I want to go to Cal Poly. I want to be an engineer. Cool, man, do it. My other son said he wants to be a firefighter, And we were laughing today. My daughter, what do you want to do? She swears she wants to be a vet. She's 5 years old and is going to be a vet. I know she's going to do it. And she's like, yeah, I want to be a singer. I want to be a ballet dancer, be a vet. She has a couple other things, but it's so funny. But in my mind, the electrical business would be great for the family. But my wife kind of said, you know what, maybe that's not what they want, though.
Yeah.
And you're going to plan this whole move, and then they're going to go against it, and it's going to ruin your whole plan, and then what?
For sure.
Yeah, that's true. So
yeah.
It's kind of tough.
No, definitely, man. And the way that you explain it makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing you have to take into consideration is like the want.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes when the money's coming in, everything's good. Sometimes you're still not fulfilled.
Yeah.
Damn, this doesn't. I'm not happy doing this.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you do? Like, are there any hobbies that you do that are just for pure enjoyment?
I like fishing.
Oh, really?
Fishing, yeah.
Okay.
Fishing's always been fun, been relaxing. Used to go fishing with my dad and my grandpa. Twice a year, we'd go up to like Mammoth, up in that area. We go stay up there for a couple of days and do some freshwater fishing. That was just always relaxing, always fun. I played golf. I've been playing golf since I worked at the golf course forever, and I'm still trash,
Yeah.
No good. Definitely no good. I just like to go out and have fun, But
I hear that's such a fun sport, man.
It is. It is fun. It is fun.
Yeah, I went out to the one in Ventura, and I went with my dad one time. Damn, bro, this shit's like 3 hours, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't know it was that long of a game. But I guess that's probably some of the enjoyment to it as well, right?
You just go out and, you get the fresh air. You get the drink lady coming around making you drinks or selling you tall cans of Modelo's, And it's just about socializing. They say a lot of business gets done on the golf course, You make a lot of contacts. You talk a lot of business. Nobody out there is listening to what you're talking about. You can speak real freely out there. So it's kind of like that whole thing,
Yeah, for sure. Do you read?
I don't. I don't, and I wished I did because my I tell my wife all the time with the homeschooling. So me in school, I open a book. I'm reading the first page, and it says, today this girl went to school and she had Spanish class, and then it starts going down the line, and then I'm reading, and then all of a sudden I'm thinking, okay, what are we gonna have for dinner? And then I get to the last sentence, and I was like, I have no clue what I just read, And as an adult, it's the same exact way, And I see my son doing the same exact thing, and my wife's like, no, they're gonna be strong readers. And I tell her, look, I feel his pain. I know exactly what he's going through, because he'll read a chapter, and you're like, okay, so tell me what you read. And he's like, I don't know. Let's read it again. I'm gonna read it out loud to you this time. All you got to do is pay attention. Still no clue. It's like, oh, man. So I'm not a strong reader at all. I've tried and tried. The kids bought me the book, The Art of War. And I said, I'm going to read this one. I made it like 9 pages, and it went on the shelf, and it never came back down.
I feel you. What about like consuming, like listening to it? Like an audiobook?
I've tried, like and I just got to be like, in a room with nothing else going on. I think if I had the headphones on, like my eyes closed, and I could just concentrate, I think I could do that.
Got you.
I could do that.
One I would definitely recommend would be Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I've heard of that
before.
One. Yeah.
I actually listened to the audiobook
on
that one. That was the first audiobook I ever did.
Okay.
And it brought so much value, man. And it really reminds me of the guy that didn't share the knowledge with you. Basically this friend, or this guy, he has a friend, and the friend's dad is the rich dad.
Okay.
And his dad is the poor dad.
Okay.
And it's not even have anything to do with finances. It's about the quality of your thoughts. You have rich thoughts, or you have poor thoughts.
Gotcha.
And the poor dad went to college, had a career and everything, but the way that he lives is like a poor mentality.
Okay.
And then the rich dad, the way he lives is, looking at everything as either, is this a liability, or is this an asset?
I got you.
And he just breaks down so many examples, and just saying about like buying property. Saying there's in Arizona, there's six unit building. is going for 40,000 at this time earlier or whatever, but it was like say 400,000.
Okay.
You know, say $400,000. I need 40,000 down on it. I borrowed the 40,000 and I had to pay each month. I had to pay what have you, you know. But in when you have that 40,000 paid off, everything else is now an investment.
Yeah.
So that turns into 100% of an asset.
Got you.
So with that money that's coming in from that, that's going and paying for the mortgage of the units.
Yeah.
And once you have the deed, once everything's paid off, that is a complete asset.
Got it.
So every money that's coming in is just straight into the asset column. So then when you're gonna buy your nice car or what have you, that's how you do those things.
Got it.
So when you say, okay, well, I want to have a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How much is a Lamborghini a month? This is going to be $3,000. Okay, so I have to figure out how to make $3,000 that's going to come in that I don't have to do anything to make it come in.
Got it.
It made so much sense when the guy was breaking it down. You know, and you just start with small assets.
Yeah.
Maybe like a vending machine, ATM, something like that. Something that doesn't take a lot of effort for you. And then soon you'll get to the level where you're buying property. And then you have a good relationship with a property manager.
Yeah.
And then you're done. You don't have to do anything with that. And you just keep stacking. And I'm sure that's how that guy got to the 100-unit buildings. And you just keep growing and growing.
Yeah.
But if nobody passes that knowledge on to you,
yeah.
like, how do you even buy a house?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
If you don't even know anybody who's bought a house before,
Yeah.
like, what the hell? How do I do this?
For sure.
And then that even comes like, how am I ever even going to do that? I'm not going to buy a house. What?
Yeah.
And this time, I'm never going to own a house. I'm going to rent forever.
Yeah. But then think 10 years from now, you're going to be saying, man, I should have bought 2 houses.
For sure.
You know,
with that mentality, you're right. You're going to be a renter forever.
Yes. Yes.
And the good thing about mentality is you can always change it.
Always change it.
You know, and you can grow. And that book definitely helped me out a lot. That book, 48 Laws of Power.
Okay.
That's a great one as well. I actually read that one, which was torture, bro. Because it was like,
damn. Okay.
Like Bible joint, small font, and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
But that basically breaks down 48 laws that powerful people live by. You know, and it's like one of them is like, don't ever go past the goal of success. So say if your success is, okay, I want to win, I want to get to this level. When you reach that level, okay, that goal has been done. Because if you keep doing more, or you're like messing up the whole plan,
Gotcha.
And it's not gonna work out. You know, so
it's almost like greed.
For sure,
greed is gonna ruin everything.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. But yeah, ever since I discovered the audiobooks, I'm like, man, I'm not reading no more.
What were these? Back in high school.
Yeah, so much easier.
You know, speaking of trying to make money, like they say, make money while you're sleeping. You know, if you could make money while you're sleeping, you'll be successful. Your business, you're making money while you're sleeping, and that's amazing. You know, before here, we were at the bank. We just started an LLC. We're trying to do multiple businesses now, but the first one we're starting is a candle company, right? Wow. So it's going to be the kids' candle company. So the whole thing behind the candle company is the kids are making it. They're going to learn how to extract oils from flowers. It's going to be like all green. They're going to make the candles. And I said, all we got to do is make like 50 candles of this flavor, this 4 different flavors, make them all in a weekend, store them, back to social media, put the kids, hey, this is our company. The reason we're doing this is because we're homeschooled and we want to be world schooled. So put the kids behind the concept, and by buying the candle, you're funding these kids to travel the world and learn different cultures, different things. So by doing that, we're going to pay for the traveling for the kids to learn. You know, let's go to Thailand. Okay, our goal is we need to sell 500 candles and we could go to Thailand for a month. So put it on there. This is what we're trying to do. And then when we go to Thailand, we're going to have to post pictures, but it's going to be social media just for that. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the goal. We want to world school the kids. We want them to learn the experiences of everything. My wife always says about our daughter, I don't want some bum to show up and be, hey, let me take you to Vegas for the weekend. Let me show you a good time. Like Vegas, like
I'll
what?
take you to vacation. We'll go
You
to
know,
Vegas.
yeah, right. Or let's go to Miami for the weekend. No, take me to Spain. You know,
Yeah.
like I want to be impressed. Let's see Spain. You know, don't take me to Collins. You know what I mean? Show me something good. So that's like what we're trying to instill in the kids, in their mindset. Like, you know, we need to be well rounded as a family. We need to understand all the cultures. You know, my wife's big on languages. You know, she wants the kids to learn Portuguese. You know, because it's something different. You know, my daughter's godfather's from Brazil, and she's like, you know, we should learn the language. You know, we should learn Spanish. We should learn Portuguese. She speaks Balinese because she lived in Bali. Just different languages. Like, you should learn that. You know, we went on a cruise, the Carnival cruise, the little 4-day one. This is right. So coming back from the cruise, they stopped the cruise behind us and quarantined them. That's like how close we were to the pandemic.
Damn.
Yeah, it was wild. So then they kept them for like 2 weeks on the boat, you know? And
I remember that.
Yeah,
dude.
I would have died in that room.
Oh my God.
So, and we were only there for like 4 days. So that was something. But my wife said she's big on like respect for people. And, you know, on the cruise, there's people from all around the world that are working. So there's the hot dog stand, you know? So, hey, I'm going to wait in line to get some hot dogs. So my wife says, here's the rule. She goes, on this cruise, I want you to learn how to say thank you and good morning, or a couple different phrases in 3 different languages. And at the end of the trip, I want everybody to tell us, right? So I get in line at the hot dog stand, right? And I'm going to get 5 hot dogs, you know, one for all of us. So I'm waiting in line, and the guy's kind of like pissed, but he's working, you know, he's making his hot dogs, and everybody's being like rude to him. It comes to me, and the guy's an Indian guy, right? And I told him, I says, hey man, I go, I like your bangle, his bracelet, right? And he looks and he goes, oh no, he goes, this is a bracelet, it's not a bangle. I go, oh, I'm sorry. I have a friend who's he's from India, and I thought he said it was a bangle. He goes, no, he goes, women wear bangles. He goes, men wear bracelets. And I was like, oh, okay. I go, man, my bad. And then I go, where are you from? And he goes, oh, I'm from India. And I told him, yeah, my friend, you know, he works over here at the gas station. I'm telling him like stories he's told me about India and how he played hockey, and we're like broing down at the hot dog stand, you know? And I go, hey, how do you say good morning in your language? And he told me, and I was like, okay. So I said it back to him, and it's like, okay, cool. We got my 5 hot dogs, right? I threw him $2 for a tip. We walked off. Didn't say nothing to anybody. So the next morning we're walking by, and I see him, and I say, hey, from across the way. And I said it in his language, and he looks at me and smiles, and he laughs, and he waves, and he says it again. And then later on, like 2 hours later, we're walking back, and I go, hey, I'm gonna grab some hot dogs again for us, you know? So I go, I'm back in line. He sees me in the back of the line, and he like waves to me, and he's like, forget the line, you know what I mean? And I come walking right to the front, and there's 5 hot dogs right there. Slid it to me. Dude's the homie now. You know what I mean? Like, this is great. So I tipped him again, you know, and it's cool. But like, how many people, again, showing the respect to people that are working? We're here on vacation. They're working, you know what I mean? They're basically working for us, but that it doesn't mean they're below us.
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I mean? Greet the guy, you know, ask him something about where he's from. Ask him how he likes working on this shit, you know? Nobody likes to work, but you know, if you could be cool for a minute, be cool for a minute.
Yeah.
Then the next day you see the dude shoots me 5 hot dogs on the low, you know, forget the line. It's like, damn, that's what's up, you know?
Yeah. Which it always feels good to treat people good.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels nice when there's some kind of benefit to
Of
it
course,
sometimes
yeah,
too, man.
You know? And even if there wasn't, it'd still be cool.
For sure.
Just acknowledging me, you know, and saying like, hey, good morning back, you know?
For sure. I feel like that's a gift from the universe whenever things like that happen.
Yeah.
You know, there's one time I was at what is it? Big Lots, and I'm with my wife and my daughter. And my daughter picks up a little car. It was random because it was just like it wasn't in the car section. It was just on the shelf or something. She grabs it. I'm like, oh shit, that's my car. It was the same exact BMW that I have.
That's
I'm like,
funny.
oh, that's sick. And I'm like, man, I want to buy it for her. And I look, it's like $10.
Okay.
There's those little ones that you pull back and
Yeah.
it goes. And then we go to the register, and some young Mexican kid. Oh, what's up, man? How's it going? You know, just showing him a little love. I'm like, hey, bro, can you tell me how much this is? My daughter grabbed it. I don't know. I think it was like $1 or something. Just like joking.
Yeah.
He's like, $1.50? I was like, yeah. I was like, thanks, bro. I
That's what's
appreciate
up,
that.
yeah, you're for sure.
You know, because it's like, dude, sometimes all people want is just to feel noticed.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Because the jobs that they're working, dude, it's not enjoyable.
yeah.
We know it's not enjoyable. These people aren't having fun working at Office Max or what have you, but they're just doing what they have to do.
Yeah.
You show them a little love, man. Like, get them through the day.
Yeah, that's all it is.
know?
It's so crazy. You see people on Instagram, you know, going through McDonald's and people climbing through the windows and wanting to fight the people behind it. Man, that's not going to get your food any quicker. It's not going to do anything for you, man. Just chill out.
And what's going on with you that you're going to snap and jump through the window?
Through the window.
What are you thinking about? Like, what's going on? You got to evaluate what you got going on at home.
Yeah, it's bigger than some fries for
sure. Yeah, and that's the way that I try to think about things now, man, especially like somebody give me attitude or road rage or something like that. Like, I'm always quick, ready to snap, and I need to be that person. Like, yo, I know whatever this dude's mad at is not because of me.
Yeah.
Something else is going on
with
him. I remember there was one time I was at Topper in Channel Islands by the harbor. It was for my son's birthday, and my wife was there earlier setting up, and she had one of those things from like Party City, like it's like the balloon, the helium one, but it's like the little ones.
Yeah,
you could just buy them and then throw them away after, or recycle them or whatever. And then I guess it fell, and it didn't do nothing. It just fell. But like some like ghetto people next to her said something, and then they're just like staring. Damn, bro, whatever, dude. So I get there, and I'm she already told me what was going on, so I'm evaluating the situation. It's this family, they're having like a little birthday party, and it's like some like homie essay fool. And they're just looking, and I'm like, yo, bro, we're just trying to have a party, dude. It's all good. Yeah, you fucking watch that shit. I'm like, bro, it's nothing, dude. So he's kind of like, whatever. I'm like, he's like, well, what's up? I'm like, well, we can go talk outside or what, you know, dude? Like, you're what are you tripping about, you know?
Yeah.
He's there with his kids are there, his girl, the family, whatever.
Yeah.
We get 10 feet away from him, energy changes. Because he has to wear that.
Yeah.
He has to be that dude.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, hey, look, bro, we're just here. It's a birthday, dog. We're just trying to have... Well, I'm here, too. I'm like, well, I'm sure on your kid's birthday, he ain't trying to deal with this shit. And I ain't trying to deal with this shit either, bro. It's all good, man. Let's just... You know, and just calm down. Who knows what the fuck that dude has to go through?
Yeah.
Where every day he's on
defense. Yeah.
On all day. I'm like, damn, man. Like, even though you're lame, bro, like, I feel bad for you,
right?
dog. You shouldn't have to live like that. Where every day you're just ready. Who's disrespecting me? I'm like, well, no one's even worried about you, bro.
Didn't even notice you.
I didn't even notice you. Just chill out, dude. You know, but... People are just so wound up. Now. It's like,
I was driving here in Ventura, man. You know where Spencer McKenzie's is?
Yeah.
I was pulling off of that little side road trying to get onto Thompson. And I'm looking, there's cars coming every direction. I was just like, man, I just got to pull out, you know? And I had the kids in the car. So I look and I was like, okay, now's my chance. So I pull out, you know, as quick as I can. And this van pulls up and just honking the horn, just laying on the horn. And I was like, oh shit, I'm in the middle. So I move, he goes around me, he flips me off, he cuts in front of me, and he wants to get like on the freeway right there. So he stops like in the turn lane. So I'm like, this fool, all that, you know? So I pull up next to him. There's no cars ahead of me, and there's a cop like 3 cars ahead of me. I roll my window down. I tell the dude, roll your window down. So the guy looks at me, he's all worked up. I says, hey man, I go, don't ever do that again. I said, first of all, I got my kids in the car. Second of all, you honk your horn at like that, you made me panic, okay? I says, all you're doing is making the situation way worse. If you would have slowed down, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I says, don't ever disrespect me or anybody else like that again. And I said, you could have caused a huge problem. And I talked to him in that tone right there. And the dude said, he looked at me, he goes, you know what, man? He goes, you're right. He goes, I apologize. And I was like, damn. I says, you have a good day, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, you too. And we both drove off. But I was like, man, like, I don't know what he was going through, but I knew that he shook me up though, man. Cause like we legit almost crashed and it made me even feel worse cause I had the kids in the car, you know what I mean? And I was like, man, F this dude. So I pulled up on him and I was just like, I'm gonna tell him something. I'm gonna see what he says.
Yeah.
You know. But he came off like kind of chill. So I was like, okay. And there's a cop right there. You know what I mean? You can't be too much of a wildcat.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, okay, cool. You know, like I respect that. So,
Yeah.
And maybe he respects me for that too. You know, who knows?
Not
So.
for sure, man. Tell me about the Tesla story, dude, with the guy that had this.
That was
what
funny,
was that
bro.
all about?
So yeah, man, it was so funny because I feel like I was judging the guy because we're sitting there. Me and my daughter, we went to the Nike outlet, and we were returning some shoes. So we walked back out to the car, and I was backed in, and I see this dude with a Tesla, and I could just see like his body language, like he opens his trunk and he's got like new shoes, and he's like putting on the new shoes, and he has the box, and I'm like, this fool's gonna throw his trash on the ground, you know? Like I just feel it. Like I need to film this dude. So I start filming him, and I'm watching, and my daughter and my phone has like a neon green case on it. So like if you look up, you're gonna see it. You know what I mean? It's not like it was clear like a black one. So I'm just filming, and the dude like he did exactly what I thought. He takes his shoes, he puts his like old shoes in the car in the trunk, puts his new ones on, and then like takes the box and like puts it on the ground. And I'm like, oh, you're a scumbag, you know? And then he looks at me and he sees the phone and he realized like, oh, damn, like I think this dude's filming. Because the way I'm holding the phone is like on the dash, you know what I mean? So he was probably like, either he's doing a selfie or he's filming, who knows? But like you see the guy in the video panic and he grabs his keys like he's going to open the door, but you don't use your keys to open a Tesla door, right? You just walk up to it. So he's like panicked, he froze and he looked. And I was like, I just got to hit him up, you know? So then I roll up on him and I was like, hey, bro, don't forget to pick up your trash. And he's like, he goes, yeah, I am. And I go, yeah, keep polluting or something like that. I go, you driving a Tesla, you're saving the world, keep polluting. And he goes, yeah, go get some McDonald's, you fat boy, or something like fat fuck, something like that. And the funny thing was, we just had McDonald's before that. I had wrappers in the car. And if I was any quicker, if I had a free hand, I could have been like, thanks, bro, but already did. You know what I mean? So it was so funny that he said that. And then we drove off, and I was laughing. And my daughter, she didn't know what's going on. So we drive off. Well, the dude actually followed me all the way, like in front of all the outlets right there. And then we get up and we're getting ready to like both turn like over the freeway to get on the freeway. Yeah. And he's sitting right next to me and his windows are super dark. But I'm like, yeah, you know what car I'm in. Like, are you dogging me through your tinted windows? You know, so I roll the window down. I just look and I'm just shaking my head like, man, I should be filming again. But he didn't roll his window down. He didn't say anything. He just left. And I was like, I wonder if he actually like saw it or anybody saw him on there and like busted him. Yeah. And like, I've never gone viral on anything, but this thing had like 15,000 views. Like it went from like 800 views and somebody forwarded it, you know, with a little airplane, you know, to somebody or reposted or did something. And then I woke up in the morning and bro, there was like 15,000 views on it.
Shut up.
Whoa, man, this is crazy. I'm like, the guy's going to see it, you know? And I was laughing. I never heard anything else from it though, but I laughed at that one. Another one I just put up was, some people driving in the rain. They had a Mustang convertible.
I saw
and they
that.
had the top down. Like, what are you guys doing? You know, like they got their windshield wipers on, and I'm following on the freeway. I get off the freeway, and they're sitting there and they're bumping music. And I was like, man, you're either on a sick one or
that's it. That's the only. That's it. This is a sick one,
right? I was gonna tag Food's Gone Wild. I should have. It's so funny. I feel bad posting stuff like that because, like, I've always said, like, oh, man, I don't want it to come back to the shop, you know, like busting somebody's balls like that. But it's almost like, who cares, you know, at this point? Like, just put it out there and it's for a laugh, you know?
Have you gotten into, like, real altercations?
Not for social media, but we've had crazy incidences at the shop, you know, both shops. From one client was just talking about, yeah, man, he goes, I just picked up an AK-47. I'm like, oh, nice. He goes, yeah. He goes, I'll bring it in and show you guys. We're like, all right, whatever. Didn't think nothing of it. Finished cutting the guy's hair. He jams. 10 minutes later, the guy walks back in the shop and he's carrying a duffel bag. And I look like, oh, shoot. Dude might have this AK in the bag, you know? So he opens the bag and we had 10 waiting chairs and a couch in the middle. Remember the shop that there was like 5 and 5 with the old leather couch? Yeah. So every chair was full and there was people sitting like on the couches too, right? And the barbershop, 4 chairs, everybody cutting. So 8 and I don't know, 20 people plus in there. He pulls out this AK, boom, out of the bag, and he's standing like right by the front door, right next to me. And I was like, whoa, 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 like that. And he's like, check it out. And boom, he cocks it, okay? Clack, clack. And I was like, whoa. He points it at the people waiting. There's like kids, women, dads. And he makes a sound. Ah, da, 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 da. And he goes down the line like he's spraying everybody. And everybody's like in the chair, like ducking. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, bro, you got to stop. You got to stop. He takes the clip out and he pops out a bullet, right? So I don't know if it was completely loaded or not. But I mean, he cocked it. He pulls a bullet out of the magazine. And he's like, does anybody want a souvenir? He goes down the line to give people a live bullet from his AK. Bro, you got to go. He packs it up and he jams. And I was like, oh, the cops are coming for sure. Somebody's going to call. The cops never came, though. But, bro, that one had my heart going,
Did you know the dude?
Yeah, he'd been coming in for a while. But he used to drink a lot, though. So I don't know if he was just, on a good one. And he just got pumped up. And I was like, dude, we just can't talk to the guy ever again about a gun, That's the worst thing we could do. But yeah, there was a lot of fights between customers,
Really?
A lot of them had respect, though. They wouldn't fight in the shop. They'd go back. I think usually one would come back all dusted up, or neither of them would come back,
Yeah.
Pretty wild, man. Good times.
Okay.
We had one lady, she used to go to the bar. She was like the bar lady, like hang out at the bar all night. I don't know if she was a prostitute or what she was, but she would come in the shop and she would always show us her tits. Like just random, she'd walk in and be like, hey guys, like, hey, thanks, send her on her way. So one day she comes in again, shop packed full of people. And we had the front windows that were tinted like mirrors, so you couldn't really see.
Yeah.
In. But when the sun was setting over the base, the sun would come in so bright, it was like the mirror didn't affect you. But if you're standing right there, you could see it. You could see the person on the side of the window. So the lady walks in random and, close the door behind her. And she was like, hey, and she, in the window, picks up her shirt and she's like shaking her tits in the window, right? And it goes down the line and she's like showing everybody in the waiting chair, showing everybody, right? She walks out of the shop. Okay. She fixes her shirt. She walks out and goes into the bar. And we're like, damn, that's wild. Everybody's laughing, having a good time. The front door swings open and it's a mom, right? And she points at her son, right? Like that. And we're like, oh shit. She was parked right in front of the shop. So the front window was like 6 feet away from her. And she sees the lady pull her tits out and like, oh, dude. So the mom takes the kid, hop in the car, boom, they take off. And I was like, oh, my God. Again, cops are going to come, never came. So a week later, the kid comes in for a haircut again, right? And I was like, hey, bro, I go, whatever happened? I go, was your mom pissed? He goes, oh, dude, she was super pissed. He goes, my dad's bringing me for the haircut now. And I was like, no way. He goes, yeah, she won't let me come here no more. I'm like, oh man, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, it shouldn't have happened. He goes, oh no, it's okay. And I go, what did she say? She goes, right when I got home, she told me you're going to call your dad and tell him what happened. He's like, oh. So he calls his dad and he's like, Dad, I was at the barbershop and some lady we didn't know, she exposed herself to everybody and mom came in, she was pissed. And he's like, well, where's this barbershop at? He said, because I'm going to start going there. So the kid didn't get in trouble, right? And then the dad ended up starting to come get his haircut and ended up being real cool dude. So,
did his dad get to see some titties?
No, unfortunately he didn't.
Shit.
It was just random stuff like that. It was always something wild, every Friday night, Sea Rounders right next door to the bar.
Yeah.
Fights in the front. It was just so wild, man. It was like the Wild West right there. Totally different from Ventura. None of that stuff in Ventura,
Culture, bro.
Yeah.
Oxnard's got its culture, dude.
Yeah.
For good or bad, it definitely does.
Right. We actually had a guy got stabbed in Ventura, though.
Oh, wow.
That was unfortunate how that happened. It was just an altercation between this guy and like the barbers. He came in shooting his mouth off about something, and then the car wash guy was there, and he tried to like calm it down, and then this guy attacked the car wash guy, and the car wash guy ended up stabbing him. The guy coming in caused the problem. So I was down in San Diego on our way back from San Diego for my stepson's graduation from the military, and we stopped in TO, having ice cream at the mall. And I get the phone call, hey, man, you got to get down here. He goes, there was a stabbing. The cops are here. They all want to talk to you. I'm like, I'm not even there. What do they got to talk to me for? You know what I mean? Like, you guys can handle this. So I'm like, all right, man. I go, I'm on my way. So we drove from TO to there real quick. We get there. It's all taped off. They won't let no cars out of the parking lot. So all the other businesses, their cars are stuck. So it was just an altercation. The guy was kicking the car wash guy on the ground. Car wash guy stabbed him. So they ended up arresting the car wash guy, you know, for assault with a deadly weapon or attempted murder or something. But they dropped everything because it was self-defense. So that was pretty hectic, man. Like, and then again, the landlord, I had to call the landlord and tell him, like, hey man, we had an issue down here. And he's like, okay. He goes, yeah, I already heard. So the other people called the landlord, and I was like, man. So we had to clean up. The fire department didn't clean up any of the blood, so we had to come out the next day and we had to like bleach the parking lot, the front, the back, pressure washed everything, cleaned everything. And the landlord thanked me. He's like, hey, thanks for handling everything the way you did. He goes, I feel like you handled it very well. You know, even on social media, I put a post like, people, you know, everybody understands that there was an incident because it came out in the newspaper and everything. You know, okay, I was like, there was an incident here. You know, with our barbers, all of our barbers are safe. Everything's good. There was an incident, you know, but you know what? Tomorrow, back to business as usual. You know, like everything's okay. So everything flowed from that. Everybody says, oh, you know, anytime you're in the news, good media, bad media is good media. It's true, but I felt like nothing good could come from that, you know. But it didn't really bite us in the ass. I think everybody kind of just like swept it under the rug, you know.
Yeah, probably on how you handle things too.
One person commented, again, the comments eat me up. Somebody says, oh yeah, you know, they're from Oxnard. They should probably go back to Oxnard. And that was the only one that bugged me, and I felt like kind of going in on that one. But I left it. And a lot of more people were like, yeah, we're from Oxnard. They're from Oxnard. But you know what? They handle business correct, you know.
Yeah. No, I feel that, dude. I feel like Oxnard has a stigma to it. And even though it does, it's still, it's like, I could say these things because I grew up there. I lived that life. I know it. You've never been there. You can't. You can't speak on it. You can't speak on it because it's because you think that you know something, but no, you really don't. Like, there's, although there is a lot of like bad seeds, even though they are, dude. Like I've never felt uncomfortable. Yeah. Like I just know how to treat people. Yeah. You know, and I know when I see somebody and I know that they have that look on them, like, all right, I don't see you. Yeah, stay away. I'm doing my own thing. Yeah. And they understand that I understand. So we have an understanding without having to speak to each other. Yep. You know, and, you know, I'll see somebody and they have that look. Yeah. You know, what's up, man? How's it going? Yeah. That's it. That's it. Show respect. Going. That's it. Keep it going. Yeah. You know, and that's one thing that's definitely helped me out in life a lot, especially like traveling outside of Oxnard. Like I'm always on a swivel.
Always. You always got your guard up. Always. You know, but you're not opposed to putting your guard down to acknowledge people. Like for sure. You know, let them know, hey, I'm cool, but I'm not that cool. But I'm cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. But nowadays, like shit's gotten crazy. Like I don't even like driving to LA anymore. Like,
oh, it's so crazy out there. Like we stopped for gas one night. And my wife's like, we got to get gas. Okay, well, pull off right here. It was right there by like Capitol Record. Pull off and boom, it was the craziest homeless camp I ever seen. It's so sad, bro, to see this. Like, how is it getting this bad? Like, how are we not doing anything? You know? Yeah. I understand a lot of them don't want help, but there's got to be some kind of option here. You know, we got to do something. We got to do better than what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't know what it could be. The homeless problem, it's not a benefit for people to fix it because if you fix it, then you're not making those salaries. True. You know, the budget grows because the problem grows. Yeah. And the budget grows and your the money that you make. Like there's a lot of people that are making a lot of money off of the homeless issue. Yeah. You know, so if that issue's fixed, they're not going to make that money. Yeah. Just the same as a pharmaceutical company. Yeah. They're not going to give you anything that's going to fix your illness, even if they can. Yeah, it's just a hustle. You have to look at everything. Everything's like that. Why am I going to fix this problem? No, dude, I'm not going to give you tires that are going to last you forever.
Yeah, for sure.
No tire company is ever going to do that. Yeah. Because why would we do that? Yeah. You know, that's like you giving haircuts and be like, dude, I give you this haircut and I'll use a solution. And it's going to stay like that for a year. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. You just lost out on 25 cuts or what have you.
But see, the crazy thing is that tire company would take over the game. And you would sell your tires to everybody in the world one time. Yeah. Right? Because they're going to last forever. So you're going to make all your money real quick. But the small companies, are going to kill you. They're going to take you out.
For sure.
They're going to end that company real fast because they want to sell their stuff. So it's janky the way the government is playing this whole thing, you know?
If you look at everything, if you look at politics, if you look at the government, pharmaceutical, all that, if you look at that with that mentality, which is the same shit.
Yeah.
They're trying to make money. They're trying to make profit. It's astronomical levels, but it's still the same game.
It is.
So what are they going to do? The person that's making us look bad, we're going to make them look even worse.
Even worse, yep.
We're going to bring up whatever dirt.
Yeah.
Everybody has dirt.
Everybody.
You know? And especially if that dirt is about the has something to do with whatever that time is, whether it's the whatever LGBTQ. If you said something in the past, like you're done, son. You're done.
They're bringing up Twitter stuff from 15 years ago.
And then that fight that good fight that you had, no, it's done.
It doesn't count. Yeah.
You know? They try to do that with Rogan, man. Rogan was just coming out with great like information for people and saying like, look, you need to get vitamin D. You need to start exercising, eating right, like things that it should be.
Yeah.
That they should be telling us, you know. And then they put him on CNN. They doctor the video when he got COVID.
Yeah.
They made him look like yellow. And he put the original video next to the CNN video, and it's like, damn. But I think that that like the mainstream media, they're already fucked up.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows the game now.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to dial it back, and they're gonna have to get more towards the center of things.
Yeah.
Because if that goes, there goes their advertising. There goes everything.
Everything.
And it's a business.
It's all money. It's all money.
You got to figure out how you're going to make this business keep running.
Yeah.
So if it was running because we were talking shit about Trump, and now we got to talk shit about Biden, so fucking be it. As long as we get these advertisers.
Yeah, that's it.
And when you realize that, then it makes you look at things with like more of like, maybe the world isn't so bad.
Yeah.
After all.
Outside, because we're so taught that the United States is the strongest, the best place to live. Is it really the best place to live? Is it really the best place to do everything?
Right?
I don't know. You know, you get outside of here and things are pretty nice. You know, people treat you good. Everybody says Mexico City, man, it's wild, bro. You're gonna get killed there. We went there for 4 days. We have friends that moved down there. We went visited them, and then we walked back to our Airbnb at 12:30 at night. The kids are running down the sidewalk. They're parkouring off the walls. And, you know, and they say the biggest thing is you're going to step in some dog poop. You know what I mean? And this is the nicer part of Mexico City. We're not in the hood. But, hey, if I'm going to rob somebody, I'm going to go to the nice area. I'm not going to go to the hood to rob somebody, you know?
Yeah.
And here we are. We're having a great time, you know? We're eating everywhere, walking everywhere. Didn't feel threatened one time.
Yeah.
You know? It's so weird. But you tell people, oh, we're going to Mexico City on vacation. Oh, be careful. Be careful, man. The cartel's going to kidnap you.
When you said it, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
But that's what everybody tells you.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you ask my friend that lives down there, you say, hey, man, how has it been right now? Because I heard the cartels are taking over the airport. He goes, it's not even like that. It's media's pumping it up.
For sure.
You know, it's not like that. It's a little bit, but it's nothing like what they're saying.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
so
for
it's crazy,
sure.
man. It really makes you think that they're scaring you to step outside of the box, you know, to go anywhere else, you know.
Who knows what's really going on?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in Ukraine.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in Russia.
No.
I don't trust anybody.
No.
And I don't trust what they're telling me because they've lied so many times.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a grown ass fucking man, dude.
Yeah.
You lie to me once, I'm gonna question everything.
Everything
after that.
Bro, there's so much money that they keep sending to Ukraine. For what?
Why?
You know, millions and billions. You know, they just said they're gonna shoot another like 25 million or billion. Billion, right?
For sure.
And what's the reason? And people are saying, oh, we got like labs over there that we're trying to protect, that if we find out what's in those labs, it's going to be real shady, you know? Hey, I believe it.
Yeah.
You know, why else would we be protecting Ukraine, you know?
For sure.
But there's so much funny stuff, man. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I like reading stuff. I like doing my own little research. For instance, the moon landing, bro. Like, that's so suspect to me.
For sure.
You know, to see that the thing they say landed is made out of like 10 sticks and aluminum foil and like got cardboard paper on the walls. Like, that didn't make it through. You know, that didn't land. That didn't make it back.
Especially if you start to think about where the world was at that time.
Yeah,
in
technology
space race.
Yeah.
And, you know, of course it made sense. Whoever made it there first is going to be the more dominant country.
Yeah.
The physics of it, just watching the videos, speeding it up.
Yeah.
The boots not matching.
The boots don't match.
What
The print,
fuck,
yeah,
dude?
there's a lot of stuff, man, and you question it. And then now, like Buzz Aldrin, they have him on interviews, and he's like, a little girl says, "Hey, what's the most memorable thing about the moon landing?" And he said that it didn't happen, or he said something off the wall. And then he said, "Oh, you didn't watch it on TV? That was all like staged, basically." So it's weird, man. Like, is it really gonna come out? I hope it does. I hope it does, because that'd be like the biggest curtain pull of all time, like pulling the curtain back on the Wizard of Oz. Remember the Wizard of Oz when they pulled it back on him and he's in there turning the wheel?
Yeah,
that's what it would be like. And it'd be like, man, good, finally. You know?
The way that I see it is that even since like maybe 2010, right? That wasn't that long ago, but technology's advanced probably 50 years from then. Yeah. So I feel like it's Pandora's box, bro. They can't contain it. So the way that they thought that they were going to control things in the 60s, 70s, 80s, no one's ever going to find out about. How are they going to know?
Yeah.
They didn't expect technology. They didn't expect social media. They didn't expect us being able to FaceTime with somebody in Africa right now if we wanted to. So information is coming in from so many places, and you're like, wait, no. Well, you said that didn't really ever happen.
Yeah.
So my feeling is that like the 2020 COVID, all that, it was the beginning of the end of life that we knew it. Yeah. And then I feel like we're gonna end up in the future. We're gonna end up in a more pure place, knowing that what's real, what's not, why they did those dudes. They're 70, 80 in government right now. They're out, dude. Things are gonna start changing. The world that we know it and that we grew up with, it's over. But that doesn't mean that the world in the future is going to be a worse place. It's just change. People don't like change. But like, we need to know that shit. We need to know what really happened on 9/11. Yes. We need to know these things for history, so we don't do them again. We need to know what happened in World War II. We need to know all of these things. What happened to Hitler? We need to know all of this shit. You know, we need to know that, like, people listening, that when we won the war, we took scientists and created NASA. So NASA scientists were German Nazis. It's fact. And we need to know all of these things, that we're not as clean cut and dry as we make ourselves seem.
For sure.
And those are a lot of topics that people do not want to talk about.
No, they're scared to talk about that.
For sure, because it'll shake up their foundation. Like, damn.
Everything that they've known and been taught forever, that they're teaching their kids now. History books. Look at all the statue they've been tearing down. Like, everything that they've been telling us is this, and this. And even Thanksgiving, saying that it's Indigenous People Day now. It's not Thanksgiving. It's just, everything's making sense. It's all coming to life. Like, you can see what it is now.
Hey, as it should, bro. Yeah. Because I remember Columbus was the man, and I used to color him, and I was like, fuck yeah, look at my Columbus, dude. Not knowing what him and his people did to the indigenous people.
Exactly. And then now we know, and it's like, man, I don't want to teach my kids that.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want my kids learning that shit. Yeah. And you say that your kids are homeschooled. I'm like, man, that's kind of the route that I want to go with my daughter. Yeah. Especially since shit's going so crazy as it is now.
Man, it's scary at the school. You drop them off, and you don't know if you're going to pick them up.
For sure. Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen. And then you think you're doing all the good things. Okay, I want my kid to go to college, everything. And your kid comes back that first semester, and you're like, who is this kid? Yeah. This isn't the kid. This kid is brainwashed now with a bunch of ideas from people who never even lived a real life. Yeah. They went from college to working at the college and pushing this idea. It's like, man, it's just such a scary time.
Yeah, it really is.
But the most that I like to do is just try to understand that there's more to the story, but then that's it. Yeah. Because none of that, whatever happened to Nixon, that shit ain't affecting me today. Yeah. I still got shit to do. I still got I still got to go home and be with the fam. Yeah, for sure. So, and that's a really fine line that I have to walk, because all that stuff is so intriguing to me.
But it's a rabbit hole. You go down it and you keep going, like the JFK assassination. I was just looking at some stuff on that the other day, because it pops up on Twitter, and then you hit it and you're like, oh man, it says the driver shot him now, and it shows a video of him reaching back with a gun. and shoot a JFK in the front of the head, you know? So this is videos that are now coming out, you know, that never been seen before.
Yeah.
UFOs, you know, all this crazy stuff, like stuff that's never, like you said, society has moved so fast that back then they didn't think we would ever catch them.
For sure.
You know, now they don't have a choice. They're caught.
For sure.
So they got to come clean. You know?
Antarctica, you know, all that
Did you
shit.
see some pyramids down there or something? That why can't we go down there for a reason? You know,
there's literally pyramids there.
Yeah.
Like there was civilization there.
Yeah.
In the rainforest too. Now they have, I think it's like echo radar or something.
Yeah.
They could tell that there were civilizations there.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn. So what do we know?
Yeah, nothing.
We don't really know shit.
No.
We don't even know the ocean.
No.
We don't know what's going on. But you're gonna laugh at me because I think there's mermaids.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you know?
Exactly.
You don't know.
There's a million fish we've never even discovered down there.
If you think about the surface of the ocean, that's like the top of the atmosphere for us.
Yeah.
To them. So if the top is here and freaking Mariana's Trench is at 11,000 feet down or what?
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea what's 11,000 feet above us.
Yeah.
There could be floating cities and shit that I don't even know about. So how am I so ignorant to be like, nope.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, no, there's no way.
There's no other life forms anywhere else. It's just Earth. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Even if you just think like in Mexico City when we saw the pyramids, they have the sun and the moon pyramid, and then they realized that there's a couple other like mountains that have pyramids under the mountains that have been covered with dirt. Then they stood on top of this one pyramid and looked, and then they said, damn, that looks like a bunch of like random, Mexico's so flat, there's a bunch of random mountains here. So they counted, and there's like 2,000 little mountains that they say, we feel that underneath that is going to be more pyramids and stuff.
Oh shit.
So it goes all the way down to like South America, you know what I mean? Like it just keeps going. So they're saying, man, we haven't touched the surface. Here we are thinking the sun and the moon pyramid, and then they said the sun one, come to find out, is the water pyramid. It's not even the sun anymore. They changed it. So there's so much that we don't know. Like we see it and we're like, oh man, it's amazing, but we don't know 1% of what's been going on there, you know?
Yeah.
So one day when they could discover, unearth everything, it's gonna be very fascinating to see, you know. And I hope I'm here for it.
For sure.
You know, I'm real intrigued in all that, you know.
Yeah, there's one of the newest episodes of Rogan. There's these two guys that they've been researching at the city of Atlantis.
Okay.
And they think that they actually found it.
No way.
Yeah, and it's somewhere in Africa.
Okay.
And it every way that it's explained, that's matching everything that they're saying. And then they zoom out, and it really looks like a wave of water came in and then came back out.
Really?
All the way to, you can see like ripples in the sand or in the land.
Okay.
Where it's like waves.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's salt deposits.
Okay.
All from the water, so you can see it. It's the continent, and then some random terrain, and then the rest of the continent. So everything would look like one piece of continent except for that one strip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's very fascinating.
Yeah.
Man. And I was talking to my dad because I never looked into it. So I was like, oh, Dad, what do you know about Atlantis? And the first thing that came to his head was like, oh, yeah, it's a mythical city. And I was like, man, this might not be mythical anymore. You know, what if that was a hub for like aliens or whatever to come down and spread knowledge? And who knows?
Yeah, for sure.
But that's what makes life exciting, man.
Yeah.
Just
the unknown.
The
keeps
unknown,
going,
for sure. Keeps everything exciting, man. Dude, Smooth, man. It's such a good time to talk with you.
Likewise,
dude,
man.
I really appreciate you coming and sharing your time, dude.
For sure.
So if people want to follow along with you in your journey, and maybe they want to get a cut on the Sprinter, man, where could they find you at?
Either hit me up on the Smooth Barbershop Instagram, or there's a SBS Van one.
Okay, cool.
That's like the newest one. I didn't really put much out there on that, you know.
Gotcha.
Like 4 pictures.
All right, cool. And then when are we gonna see Smooth's podcast?
One of these days you'll be my first one.
Let's do it. Hey, honestly, bro, if you ever need any help setting it up,
I appreciate
anything,
that.
like, I'll definitely help you out.
Right on.
I feel like $1,000 or less.
Okay.
You'll be straight,
Done.
dude.
Okay.
And there's value in those conversations.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure you've had thousands of conversations.
Yeah.
Just imagine if you had those on a chip or something.
I know, that'd be something.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But I appreciate you being here, brother.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
And I appreciate you guys listening once again. This is Downtime with Downstar, and we out. Peace.